Now Shelby Heating and Air is hiring technicians. That's right, they are now hiring service technicians. Get great pay, great benefits, and paid technical training. You can apply online at shelbyheating.com or call their office at 704-487-7877. Your future is waiting for you at Shelby Heating and Air, 1990 Eves Road in Shelby. You've heard the guys say, I'm the truck man. Well, if you're in Cleveland County, the surrounding area, the truck man is an iconic motor company in Shelby, like a 2020 GMC Sierra 2500 HD Denali, a 2021 Ram 3500 Laramie, a 2019 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 HD LTZ, or a 2019 Ford F-250 SD Lariat. See the truck man today at Iconic Motor Company of Shelby, 325 West Dixon Boulevard, online at iconicmotorcompanyofshelby.com. You'll be the envy of the neighborhood in your new Envy crossover from West End Sales in Vail. The Envy features 4 seats of comfort with keyless ignition, a 7-inch color touchscreen display, integrated turn signals, adjustable speed parameters, power steering, regenerative braking, and heavy-duty construction. See the new Envy at West End Sales, Highway 18 North in Vail, online at westendSales.com. With warmer weather coming soon, get a great rate on recreational vehicles such as motorcycles, campers, boats, RVs, tractors, and more. Carolina Federal Credit Union in Cherryville is offering a special rate on recreation vehicles as low as 2.75% APR. Apply online at carolinafcu.org or by phone or in person. Rates based on credit history. Let Carolina Federal Credit Union treat you like family. Located at 1200 East Church Street in Cherryville. Start up the savings on your auto insurance with a stop at Turner Hauser Insurance Group in downtown Lincolnton, your area insurance agency. Jamie Hauser invites you to stop in and find out how you can save money on all of your insurance needs, from home to auto to commercial to farm to life. Visit them at their office at 228 East Main Street, downtown Lincolnton. Just look for the big blue awning. That's Turner Hauser Insurance Group, your area insurance agency. Call 704-732-9577 or visit the website at turnerhauserins.com.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back. One local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time.
Shop local with whatsupshopper.com, Carolina Country, and The Boss.
My spitz gets a little bit, but it's a little easier to clean. But that
Sports Talk with Kevin, Zach, Tom, and Terry. We're here chowing down on some Mitchum's Kitchen breakfast, and we're feeling nice and cool. So why don't you tell us our friends, Tom, at Heating and Air?
Shelby Heating and Air, making Saturday morning sports talk possible. Give them a call, 704-487-7877. I tell you what, you might need Shelby Heating and Air to work on your heating and air conditioning in the same week. In North Carolina, 80 degrees last same day, 80 degrees last weekend, And this weekend, the high, we've already hit it today. It's going to be 38, I think, the rest of the day. So Shelby Heating and Air can take care of those heating and air needs. Once again, give them a call, 704-487-7877. You definitely want to get your AC checked out before you turn it on. You might have to turn it on last week. We avoided turning ours on, Terry. We just opened the windows. But, by April, you're going to need that air conditioner in North Carolina. So give them a call. Once again, 704-487-7877.
Well, good morning, everybody. Kevin Hastings here, along with Zach Mayhew and Terry Reinhardt. Good to see you, Terry. Terry, will you be here all day today?
Yeah, I'll be here all day.
He doesn't have his referee jersey on.
It's been a while.
He's going to have to bank some hours. I think he needs to stay till about 11 o'clock and sweep floors.
He can help the intern. Mason's done. In fact, I do want to say something about him. He's been fantastic. Very intelligent kid. Kid, 25 years old, but
he's a kid.
Someone who plays. He plays classical bass in the Gardner Webb Orchestra. He's played. He's open. I don't know. I can't remember the name of the band. Open for bands at Time Warner Cable Arena playing regular bass. So he's played in front of tens of thousands of people before. That's just that. And then he comes in and he's pretty much learned in like 3 or 4 weeks all of our programs and stuff, and he's helping us do stuff and pretty much there's nothing he can't do is what I'm saying. So he's like he'd be an all-star at any type of like big type of business like that where he can do anything and everything. Like he can write the music, he can do it all. So he brought his big stand-up bass in here that he plays. He showed my kids how to play a little bit of bass on his regular bass, but the stand-up bass thing, that thing's neat and it's huge. Oh my God, it's huge. It's just obviously taller about it. I think about all of us, really. I think it's as tall as him. He's taller than I think everybody in this room. But anyway, pat on his back a little bit, Tom. He did go to Burns here from Cherryville. So I don't know if he never had your class, so you didn't teach him anything. So
I never taught him a thing.
You get no credit.
No credit. That's one of my.
I didn't ask you if you knew Trent or anyone else I know.
That's on my retirement list of things to do is learn how to play a musical instrument.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to learn how to play the saxophone.
That's the one, huh?
Yep.
That's not where I was going to go.
Yep. Learn how to play the sax.
The saxophone. Well, good morning, everybody. We're enjoying our breakfast. I've enjoyed mine. I had a sausage, egg, and cheese from Mitchum's Kitchen. Zach, what'd you have?
I had a bacon, egg, and cheese on toast.
I had a city ham and cheese omelet.
And Tommy?
And I had a bacon, egg, and cheese on toast. Is Lincolnton a city? Does it count for a city? City ham?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Is that because you have like wandering hogs in the
Tom,
city of Lincolnton?
Now wait a minute. Now you're a history major and you know all of this.
They used to be the garbage collectors of the cities would be the roaming pigs in the cities. Is that what it is? Do we still
Out
have
of
that in Lincoln?
cities in North Carolina, Lincoln comes in at number 81.
81?
On what ranking?
I realize that.
We do.
On what ranking?
It does. Charlotte's first, Raleigh's second.
But what ranking?
Population ranking.
Yeah.
Population?
Yeah.
81.
That's
81.
He just says we just rank 81.
I will say, all levity aside, I like that little row, like over there by Lincolnton High School. As you come by, like from Cherryville, you pass the old Bilo, and you got them old houses there in Lincolnton.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really nice little area there. I like some of them old houses because they're all unique. You got these cookie cutter neighborhoods now, but you go like a Belmont's like that, or some of these other places where they got their downtown area and their old houses. So Terry, I will say that I like that about your city.
Well, we've got a lot of things to talk about today. Some fun things to talk about, get into. We have some good laughs. I'm saying a big show today. Let's see. We've got updates on the Charlotte Hornets and the rest of the NBA action. We've got big trades. We've got Kevin Durant and Kyrie versus Harden and Embiid. We've got Coach K's last game. Zach, you want to laugh at that one?
Yep.
Tom enjoyed that one, I think.
I did.
A lot of people did. North Carolina, we're going to talk handshakes in that game. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about quarterbacks moving. Baseball's back. Major League, we got the DH. Calvin Ridley suspended for gambling. We'll talk a little bit about that. I've got a little Globetrotters news and video I have to share that I just found was awesome. And a little bit more. We've got let's see, PGA, talk about PGA this weekend. They're just as wet as everyone else is right now. They're in a hold. Let's see, NCAA basketball. We'll do some bracketology for Tom, and of course, big weekend in NASCAR last weekend and this week we're going to get into. But first, I wanted to pull up something. I may have to pull it up on one of these screens just for you guys. So the other day, let me get the screen off, JP. The other day on Twitter, so you get people can like tag you, I guess. You know how you do on whatever on Facebook. Trying to explain this to some of the older generation, not necessarily in the room, just listening or watching. But so I was tagged in something the other day, and I wanted to go over to bring this up. All right, I thought it was about soccer, and so I was about to respond. Soccer's not a sport, so I just kept reading. So I'm just going to go down through my mentions, and this was hilarious. So it actually turned out to be about rugby. So
Soccer's not a sport.
So it comes out that I was not going to throw that. Well, Tom, if I get in a fight with a soccer player, he's liable to lay on the ground and ask for the referee to cart him off on a little canvas or ambulance. If I fight a rugby player, he might kill me. So I wasn't going to throw that one out there that rugby's not a sport once I found out what we were talking about. But it started off National Rugby League, Fantasy Amateur League. They're talking about they're talking fantasy rugby, and this is in Australia, okay? And the tweet started off, a couple of guys talking about halfbacks. I don't know if you know anything about that position, but they said that what is the hill that you're absolutely willing to die on? And guy responded, and he tagged me, and he obviously wasn't talking about me. Kevin Hastings should have played more representative footy, whatever that means, every bit as good as Turvey and Sterlo, talking about halfbacks. Sterlo is Sterling, and Turvey is the other guy. Thurston, I guess, is the other running back, halfback they're talking about. So it just started off a long thing of me getting tagged, and I was just laughing at all this. I never responded. I should have. I didn't decide what I was going to do. But anyway, one guy's like, yeah, I completely agree with that. I like that one. As a fan of the game, geez, we were blessed with some great halfbacks in that area. Totally correct. Sterling was the original. Orty was underrated one. Blackline, talking about some strategy. Mark Murray was better than Hastings in 82. The tour selection says so. You're entitled to your opinion, says another guy. That guy was a great halfback, but he still doesn't change my opinion on Hastings. Another guy said Hastings was a great halfback, but so is the Muppet. That's one of the other guys' name. And there was so many great halves in those. Agree, but I really like Hastings. I'm just sitting here thinking about how I should respond to any of that, Terry. Should I just hit the like button? You got any suggestions on how I should comment on all these people tagging me about
I
this
actually have a
league?
suggestion if you don't mind me.
Oh, yeah,
JP
this is what I want.
This is what you need.
Yep.
I actually just think you say, I have to thank all of y'all for the kind words you've said to me.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Just say that.
Hey, that's a possibility. But I was looking for something more Deadpoolish in the spirit of that there, JP.
Yeah, well.
You're not going to help me with that,
No,
are you?
no.
All right. Anyway, Terry, any suggestions or thoughts
Not me.
on how I should handle the
JP's
rugby
already
fans
took
on
care
being
of it.
being my favorite?
Well, you could just click on there and type in playa.
I could. I respond with the JP clip. I like that.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I like it. Good job. I'm gonna have to do that this week and follow up
Hey,
with you guys.
he might get like a million hits off that.
God,
after
no,
that.
right? Gosh, that was so fun. But anyway, I was a rugby star on Twitter there for a couple of days. I hadn't responded to them and didn't know how I should, but thought you guys would think that's funny. But anyway, over in we'll start off in NASCARville like we usually do. We're in Phoenix this weekend, and Terry, you excited about that or not?
I mean,
The big controversy this week was Rodney Childers was not excited about that, and that started off a questioning his love of the game. Have you heard about this one, Terry?
no, I have not.
Well,
Some of us had to work, Kevin.
okay, yes, Terry.
Oh.
Tom, do you want to comment on that one?
I'm not even going there. I'm not even going there with him. But no, enlighten us.
Oh, okay. So, Rodney tweeted something about it's been deleted, but he called them damn West Coast races, and he was talking about the traveling stuff.
I don't blame him.
Oh, I agree. I don't blame him for one bit.
And
on
so, somebody responded back, of course, and one of the most people, most people did. A lot of people responded that damn West Coast races. Maybe we should all stay at home this weekend. And ask for a refund on $128 tickets to see how much y'all in NASCAR like that. And of course, he responded, "Nice guy, Rodney. Sorry you took it that way, but no one appreciates fans anymore than I do. The issue is cars and parts. Every Monday morning we have got home at 4 a.m. and then we work on Mondays until 7. Then until we unload on Tuesday nights. This Tuesday I worked 17 hours, so I'm a little tired." So that he's just talking about the heavy work schedule for the most part. Now, with that said, he's brought up a huge point, Terry, and I don't know if you've noticed. We've been talking about these parts. So one of the drivers last weekend in the Xfinity Series was fined, disqualified in the series for improper lug nuts. So what's happened is that they're supposed to all have the same manufacturer, but it's turned into that they're not manufacturing some of the same quality parts, and so there's an issue with that. So there's arguments about whether or not. So NASCAR's basically saying you're not using the right lug nuts, and they're like, those are the ones they gave us. So that's the argument. So there's an appeal for that. So we'll see. How
arguing over lug nuts.
Yes.
Well,
Lug nuts.
Yes. Tom.
Okay.
It's got to be the right ones on, Tom.
What's that got to do with anything besides holding
It's
tire?
got a lot. If I tell you, Tom, you need
Terry,
this type of lug nut from this place,
You got.
and you
Terry,
sit over here and go, I'm just going to get whatever they send me.
This is a man who doesn't even know how to change a tire because his tires come for free for the last 20 years. You don't even know how to change a tire, Terry, and you're going to sit here and tell me you know something about lug nuts. You don't know anything about lug nuts, Terry. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
It's got a manufacturing
We're arguing about lug nuts, not spoilers, not transmissions, not we're arguing about lug nuts.
And it's the one they give them.
Okay,
It's
so
crazy. This is crazy.
It could be a bumper, and it be like 1/8 to a quarter of an inch difference.
I can understand a bumper.
Oh, okay. Well,
because that's the aerodynamics of the vehicle, Terry.
Okay.
I mean, I know that you probably slept in science class, but aerodynamics is a real thing. How does a lug nut got to do anything with aerodynamics?
Anyway, Kevin.
I would just ask if did the tire fall off.
I'm just saying. Yeah, did the tire fall off?
Well, yes, that has been one of the issues. Remember,
That's
last
right.
week from the start of the
If
season
it's not
said it
built
was an issue.
properly,
So what teams?
all the pressure,
So Tom,
it breaks.
So right, Tom. So Tom, if you come in the pits after the end of the race and you don't have all your lug nuts on your wheel, you can be disqualified.
I could see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what?
I'll be darned.
We only got one now.
You're talking about the legality of the part itself. I'm saying that you cheated. You tried to get out of the pits faster.
So what
That's
they're
different.
saying is, and I've got to find these two lug nuts so you can see them what they've given, and they're obviously two different lug nuts that they were given. But the thing about it is, Tom, is that what teams used to do is thread their own or get them from. They all got their own manufacturers, so there's advantages on how fast you can unthread your lug nuts. Do you have half a thread or full thread? They'll only thread just a little bit, so they go poop and you're off. Poop, you're off. Every little half second counts.
I see.
So they want everyone to have the same lug nuts. So they came out and had two different lug nuts on their cars, and that's why the suspension is saying that you guys changed them. They're saying, no, that's the ones that were provided. Okay. Here's the boxes to prove it.
Okay.
So that's the argument over that. So whether or not it doesn't have anything to do with aerodynamics, you're correct.
It's petty. It's petty.
Well,
it's petty.
Crew chiefs get fired over this stuff.
Yes.
So.
It's petty.
And fined.
Petty.
Yes.
So, anyway.
Picking boogers is what we'd call it in the baseball umpiring. You're picking boogers. You're just, it don't make any sense.
I'll read the story to you. As teams and pit crews try to get accustomed to the new wheels on NASCAR's new car, 3 teams have already seen 4 race suspensions be levied against them for the loss of improperly installed tires and wheels. This time, this is the number 38 on the front row. On Tuesday, NASCAR announced that the crew chief, as well as 2 crew members, have been suspended for the next 4 races for violation of safety sections. And also, Tom, that is the biggest thing as far as the tires and wheels are and the lug nuts is the safety. They don't want you cheating and trying to run 2 and 3 or whatever, and a wheel fall off, and that's the most dangerous part. They can get into the stands. IndyCar, remember we mentioned last week, did lose some fans killed in an IndyCar race because of that. So that's the one thing. If you ever see a wheelchair, right, or running wild on a, I mean, even if they come out of the pit stop 6 inches, they're penalized in the race. If they come out on the track loose, crew chief's gone next race. Like it's not even. It's for the most part, it's not even a question. So they are heavy on these wheels. So that's the biggest thing for that
Safety
and where
issue,
that's been
Safety issue,
right.
Maybe bring that up in your class next week.
I
Tom.
will. I will.
They should. Let's see. Third team. Anyway, so that's what's going on with the lug nuts, Tom. So I know you were excited to talk about lug nuts this morning.
Fascinating.
All right. Let's see if they've got the qualifying order for Phoenix. We do. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe we don't.
So they're actually doing the real qualifying again, unlike this. Like they
2:15 is qualifying today, so they do not have the qualifying in yet, so we can't go from our picks from there. But Terry, you got any feelings other than that as far as Phoenix goes? I can pull up the odds here in a second if that helps you.
Not really. I mean, I think Kyle Busch has done very good his first 3 races. I mean, the worst he's finished is 14th, but the other 2 I think is 2 fourths and a 14th that he's had. So, and even he come back from dead last and won 5 laps down to finish 14th in the worst one that he's had. But Kyle Busch to me is on a tear. I think he is going to win this year, and I'm going to go ahead and say it in week 4. I think he will be your NASCAR champion at the end of the year. Already. That's what I'm going to say.
Glad I went with that one. Tom, the non-biased, or Zach, how about this? The Kyle Busch fan. Do you feel the same way?
That he'll win today?
No, well, everything that Terry just said.
He's on a tear.
He has raced good this year. I'd like to see him win the championship.
Well, Terry just said he's going to. That's what I was asking. Do you agree?
It's early. They got.
I really like this new car so far. As far as
Nobody gave me credit for predicting Logano the week he actually. I mean, not Logano. Larson the week he won.
That's who scares me about this year. That's why I can't say.
I like Larson's chances.
Yeah.
Well, he's definitely the best driver in the sport. I would say right now he's the best cow in the sport. Terry don't like that. So sorry about that.
No, I ain't got nothing wrong with Larson. If you now mention Logano or Keselowski or
now
some of those, it's a whole different.
No, Keselowski's he's in the wrecking business right now. He's been involved in a wreck in every race right now.
How come he didn't get suspended for the stuff that he did?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Him being a car owner, I'm not sure how much I like how and where that's going. Let's talk about the what about Kyle Busch's rant on Alex Bowman there, Terry? Comments on that? Do you know what he said?
No. Some of us had to work.
Your text message suggests otherwise. That's all I need to say. He said the same effing guy that backs into every effing win that he ever effing gets backs into another effing win. BS. That was Kyle Busch's comment as the checkered flag dropped on over his radio to his team.
You gotta love him. Such a nice
the best
man.
at what he does.
Such a gentleman, a true gentleman, a true ambassador of the sport.
I mean, to me, he is like the Cowboys. Either you like them or you don't. It's that simple.
Well,
and I think he's won a championship before the Cowboys have.
Now,
not sure about that.
We're going to get into that a little bit. Jerry Jones was sued this week. And
that's interesting.
Now, Kyle Larson's first in the standings, Truex second, Logano third, Cindric fourth, Kyle Busch fifth, Almirola sixth, Elliott seventh, the Hack, Alex Bowman is in eighth, and Austin Dillon ninth, Bubba Wallace 10th in the standings. Keselowski's down there in 12. Anybody else of note? Anyone else? Tom, your co-customers at 26.
Below, that's what I'm saying. If you drop below the 16 line, that the guys down below it, I mean, some of them guys got to pick it up.
16 line.
Yep.
Wow. Right behind, on my screen, I got Eric Jones.
Hamlin.
Eric Jones.
Yeah, Hamlin's
there
down there.
Where's Hamlin?
Dillon down there.
Cole Custer's at 26.
Where's Hamlin?
Piggy Hamlin. That's what they call him at the fair. That's why I said that.
He's all the way down to 30. Denny 30th. Hamlin is 30th. Wow.
How about that?
Seemed like either him or Harvick was winning every race in 2020.
Well, I'm interested in, and we talked about this after the first race, the first two, after Jones, competed there, and both of them that way, that maybe if the car does what they want the car to bring out the best drivers, and not depending on what manufacturer you are for the most part, or crew chief. Kyle Larson's going to be at the top, I think, no matter what he's allowed to drive, whether it's big foots or big wheels.
Yeah, I don't think it would matter to him.
He's going to be out there, top 3-5. Give him a tractor. But some of these other guys that haven't got the sponsorships before and stuff, like Terry, let's you talk about the Cole Custers. He's down there at the bottom, but the Eric Jones is there. He's in the playoffs. Amarola's up there in 6th. I think I was listening to him the other day. I think 6 of the top 10 in that race were different manufacturers. There's Austin Dillon. He's moved up there in the 9. Bubba's at 10. And then you do talk about your Hamlin down there in the bottom. He's in no man's land after 4 races. And so Harvick's down in 16th. I just think it's going to be – it's just – I don't know. It's hard to predict right now as far as where they're going. But Kyle Larson, you say that every week, I think. So I guess you can
could come down to how do they like the car?
Yep.
Oh, it does a lot to do with that. And, you got to think about all Denny Hamlin's got to do is win and he's in. So, it's simple there.
You get used to a new car and how many times, even back in 20, 25 years ago when they would change something, some of the bigger name guys would come out and hate it, because it made the car not drive the way they're used to it driving.
So, UNC Duke Saturday got 3.9 million. Warriors Lakers Sunday got 3.3. And NASCAR on Fox got 4.5 million viewers. More viewers than UNC Duke. So if you're wondering about viewership, there's that one. All right, so this weekend you can listen ktcbroadcasting.com. We'll show you how to get there. And here right in front of you on the website. I guess you're just staring at our 4 faces right there. We'll pull that up. Just type in ktcbroadcasting.com. WCSL is where we listen to. Xfinity coverage in Phoenix starts at 1:30 today. Race, I think green flag's about 3:30. The Roof Mortgage 500 coverage starts tomorrow at 2:30, and I guess the green flag will be somewhere around 3:30. So there you go for NASCAR coverage this weekend. JP, you ready to take a break? All right. Like I said, when we come back, we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Duke in North Carolina. We got handshakes, bracketology. Coach K's last game and more coming up. ktcbroadcasting.com.
Here's some good news. It's 2 for 1. 2 good companies have now become one great company. Hopper Heating and Air and Shelby Heating and Air have combined their businesses to become Shelby Heating and Air. David Hopper invites you to call on them for all of your heating and air conditioning needs with name brands like Carrier and Goodman, plus complete service and repair. Shelby Heating and Air and Hopper Heating and Air. Now one. Call 704-487-7877 today.
Now open, the all-new BMC Toner Solutions at 410 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. The new BMC Toner Solutions can save you up to 50% off retail on your printer ink cartridges. Extra large inkjets just $14.99 for black and $16.99 for color. Just call 704-862-7333. They're open from 9 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 9 to 2 on Friday, and open every third Saturday from 9 to 2. The new BMC Toner Solutions, now open at 410 East Franklin Boulevard, Gastonia.
Since 2008, Bennett Insurance Agency in downtown Cherryville has been serving our area with the best in insurance coverage for your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and personal insurance needs. Kevin and Rocky Bennett are independent agents and will work to get you the best carrier for your insurance needs. For more information, give them a call at 704-435-0270 or drop by their office and let Rocky or Kevin take care of your insurance. Bennett Insurance Agency, 116 West Main Street, downtown Cherryville.
Palmer Crichton of North Lincoln High School is this month's McDonald's KTC Broadcasting What's Up Shopper Scholar Athlete of the Month. Palmer is a junior at North Lincoln High School and is the son of Nate and Dana Crichton. Palmer plays basketball and tennis and has a weighted 4.4 grade point average. His advanced courses include U.S. history and language. Palmer's a member of the Holy Spirit Catholic Church. His community activities include Love Denver, a Denver Nugget Camp counselor, a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and is a soup kitchen volunteer. After graduation, Palmer plans to attend a 4-year university medical school. The McDonald's KTC Broadcasting WhatsUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete Award is to recognize a student athlete not only for accomplishments in athletics, but also for overall achievements in the classroom and for overall school and community citizenship.
Built upon a solid foundation of cast iron and steel, the Kubota L-Series is part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup rated #1 for reliability. They feature powerful Kubota diesel engines and easy operation. The durable Kubota L-Series. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, located at 126 Bessie Drive on Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. It's time to go picking at Gaston Pickers in Gastonia. They are now open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 6 p.m., Sunday afternoons from 1 to 5. Come check it all out. 28,000 square feet of vendors with antiques, collectibles, furniture, and more. And vendor space is available by calling 704-852-7055. Check out some of the booths at WhatsUpShopper.com and online at GastonPickers.net. Like them on Facebook too. Gaston Pickers, 503 Long Avenue in Gastonia, or exit 19 off I-85. Congratulations to Gaston Pickers, celebrating 10 years of business.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. Tom, why don't you tell us about Shelby Heating and Air?
That's right. Every Saturday morning is brought. Why do I have that echo?
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Every Saturday morning is brought to you by Shelby Heating and Air. Give them a call, 704-487-7877 for your heating and air needs.
All right, everybody. Good morning and welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk. We're going to talk a little bit about some Duke, North Carolina. Bracketology. I was trying to pull up some audio there for me to hear for a second, but if you guys would, your thoughts so far on the ACC tournament, where we got Virginia Tech and Duke tonight. Terry, thoughts on that? How that's went through? I'm gonna pull up some videos for us here in just a second.
I guess that's the wrong person to really ask my thoughts, because I don't like neither one of them.
Well, that's your thoughts.
But, yeah, exactly. But here's the case. For Duke to lose at home their last game, that's going to be held by Carolina for the rest of their lives.
Yep.
I mean, every time something comes up, they're going to say, we beat your last game.
That's exactly right.
We beat you at your home court, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, when you go to the tournament, it's a whole different story, because Duke's going to be like, we wanted y'all. Even the big guy comes out there after they win their game and says he wants North Carolina. Then Carolina goes out and lays flat. So Duke's going to say, hey, we got there, y'all must have didn't want us because you couldn't make it back to us. You know, and a lot of people are going to say, well, you didn't want that game anyway because you'd already beat them. Why would you want to go to the ACC championship tournament bracket and get beat by them to avenge that loss that you had early?
Think about what you just said. Why would you want to go to the ACC
That's
championship
Holy
game?
pretzel twisting by Terry right there.
What?
I mean, we don't want to go to the
What do you
championship game because Duke's going to be there and
Exactly.
they might beat us. So let's go ahead and lose to Virginia Tech in the semis. So we don't
Tom,
have
they
to play
didn't even
Duke.
show up. They didn't get beat.
That's just our MO this year.
That's a little league mentality.
That's not a little league mentality.
At that level, you think you can beat anybody you go out on the court.
Okay, then where'd they go?
Well, they lost to Virginia Tech. It's not like it were Jack. You're trying to act like they tried to
NC
lose
State.
to Virginia
They
Tech.
got drilled. They didn't get beat. They got drilled.
This is what he said. You just beat us at home. We've got all of our stars here. Everything. We've got the referees in our pockets. And we couldn't beat you. But you're scared to play us in 3 days.
Yeah,
5 days.
That's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well,
nobody will ever remember the
Pancero-
ACC tournament this year. They'll remember Duke getting beat by Carolina at home.
God,
all
that's a
they're
good
going to
one.
remember is after the game, who do you want to play?
All-
You want to
all
play
it is-
Carolina or Virginia
all,
Tech?
all it is.
It's easy,
We
to,
want
it's
Carolina.
easy to say. when
All,
they're-
all it is Carolina is It's like Ohio State.
Yep.
They are extremely inconsistent. I mean, and that's what happened to them. They play great one game. I watched them against Duke, and I don't watch like much of either one of those teams. But I'm gonna tell you, who's the boy with the beard, the big boy with the shaggy hair and the beard?
Teen Wolf.
Yeah, Teen Wolf. He'll go out there. He was raining threes,
Teen
man.
Wolf, I'm telling you.
He was raining threes.
But what
everywhere.
is he? He is a transfer from another school.
What's that got, Terry? What does that have to do with
It's
anything?
got a lot to do with everything.
It got nothing to do. Terry, sometimes I'm trying to say that they can play very well. Like he had, I think all 5 Carolina starters had like 20 points or something.
Yeah,
stupid.
they all 5. Yeah, the first time it's happened since like 90,
yeah.
96
and
or
then
something.
but if you don't have a bench, I'm telling you, when somebody has an off night, okay, now what? And
Yeah, we do
Carolina,
not have a bench.
That's Carolina's problem. Not that they're trying to get beat because
I think they went out there
Duke
last
scared
night.
them by saying we want to play you again. That is the most backwards thing that I think I've ever heard in the history of sports commentary. So Terry, I
ain't shaking your hand.
Terry,
How
this
about
is
that?
not backyard 1-on-1. Okay, this is Division I basketball. They don't think like that.
What?
Okay?
Do you know how happy Hubert
Division
was walking
I
through that
basketball.
line?
Nobody thinks
No
I'm gonna
backyard basketball when we talk about Howard going after somebody, popping him in the face.
Did he shake
This
Sean
is
May's
Division
hand?
I basketball, Tom.
Division I basketball, so you're
It
not
Did the
going
guy
to
shake
get
Sean
beat.
May's hand?
You're not going to get beat on purpose
yeah,
to
does.
avoid
He
playing
leaned over
somebody
for
else,
him.
Terry. It's not
I
going
Very
think so.
interesting, huh?
Well, they said they've said why they didn't shake hands.
I didn't hear
Why
that
is
part.
that? COVID.
Okay,
COVID, right?
this this is
No,
why-
he shook Sean May's
No.
hand.
This
The
is
guy
But then the
Duke's
other guy's looking away.
This is Duke's reasoning. All right, you're Tommy. You ready for the
Like Chris
pet? You ready
Duhon,
for
by
some
the way.
pettiness on this
Yeah.
one? In the pregame handshake, the coaches always shake hands pregame, right?
Right.
Well, they were doing all the Coach K, you're
Nonsense.
the greatest,
Hoopla.
you're the greatest person of all time
Yeah.
stuff.
Even though he's not.
Hubert walked over there while they were doing the ceremony and shook his hand. Well, the other assistant coaches didn't.
Okay.
So the other assistant, Chris Carrawell and Chris Duhon,
That is Duhon. I said, that
that's
looks an awful lot
Duhon
like
looking,
Duhon
not
right
looking
there.
at his face while he put his hand out. It's Chris Carrawell that doesn't shake his hand in the white. So, who's that? Is that Shire?
Yeah,
so
Shire.
shakes his hand.
Yeah.
He'll be the next coach. Now there's Hubert reaching out, and this is Chris Carrawell. Carrawell tries not to shake it. Hubert reaches for his hand. Carrawell pulls his hand
Pulls it
away. Hubert looks at him like, "What's your problem?" Meanwhile, Chris Duhon won't look at him, shakes his hand, and you can see Carrawell. If you watch Carrawell immediately, I'll back up just a little bit. He may goes out of his way to shake Sean May's hand though. So watch him. So he was mad that Hubert Davis didn't shake his hand before the game, Tommy. The assistant coach, Duke's all-time what, Terry? 1,000th best player of all
Yeah,
time, sitting
probably.
over there scratching his beard, wondering why Hubert Davis didn't shake his beloved, his golden touch hand. Sitting over there looking like Johnny Dawkins, every Duke player ever.
But this is the
They got
ultimate
the
Duke
20 years looking like
Carolina
Duke.
stuff, y'all.
Yes, it's so
okay, this
silly.
didn't happen. Carolina won. Now today, and I'm not saying that. I mean, Virginia Tech might give Duke all they want tonight, but if Duke wins, Duke's going to say that game didn't mean nothing. We beat you in the regular season. We won the tournament, so y'all won one game. That does not offset
Okay,
that
so
we.
Terry, so let's
Terry,
are
are
you
you
making-
making
Terry,
did
hold on.
you just say that game meant nothing?
He's making the argument
I'm just saying
that
what
a
Duke's going to
pretend
say.
game that doesn't happen tonight is way more important and way more memorable
Then Carolina
than Carolina beating Duke
At
Duke in Duke's in
What
Coach
is the
K's
Duke fan
swan
going to ask
song.
you? Did y'all win regular season? You got to say no. Oh, you beat us that game. Did you win the ACC tournament? Oh, well, I'm sorry. You didn't win that neither.
Terry, when the Cowboys went win 15, who'd they beat?
That's exactly what was in my mind.
Who'd they beat, Terry?
Well, I'm just
Who'd
telling you.
they beat, Terry?
This is the last game of a season
Tom,
mean
they beat
for
the
a Duke.
Redskins.
Listen
and
now.
Cowboys fans have
1989.
talked about that for 75
Now
years.
listen to me. I'm just trying to say, as a non-Duke Carolina fan, neither way, I'm just trying to say how a Duke fan's going to react.
Okay, that's fine. You know what you say? You're an idiot.
But you know what? They're going
You're
to
an
say,
idiot.
you won nothing.
In 95, yeah, we
Hubert
did.
Davis
Yeah, he
won
did.
nothing.
Yeah, he did. He's undefeated.
That's what he's going to say.
You know what Hubert Davis is? He's undefeated against Coach K in Cameron Indoor Stadium.
But they going to say, yeah,
How many
when
coaches
we come
can
to
say
your
that?
place, we
How many
thumped y'all.
coaches can say they went undefeated against Coach K in Cameron Indoor Stadium?
I don't know if you heard Jerry
Did y'all know
Stackhouse.
that people were paying $5,000 a
Yes.
ticket just to watch Hubert Davis's first game at Cameron Indoor?
Yeah, I know. Think of it. There you go.
Jerry Stackhouse made his comment on it this week.
$1,000 to watch one game.
Yeah.
He said I don't know how it would feel to lose in Cameron because I never lost in Cameron anyway.
Who said that?
Think about this.
Jerry Stackhouse.
Oh.
Coach K.
He's coaching what?
How many years did he play?
Three.
And they beat
No.
him both?
He went 2.
Was he 2?
Jameson and Carter went 3. Stackhouse and Watson went 2.
Okay.
Never lost in Cameron.
So because they only played one time in Cameron.
Twice.
He played
Oh,
2
that's
years.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Twice.
So
Had we put those four together,
So y'all were saying
Crazy.
that
They-
game right there means more than winning the conference championship and winning the ACC championship
No.
tournament.
No.
No, it
You
does
said-
not.
No.
There you go.
said this game
does
means
not.
nothing. That's what you said. You said this game means nothing.
I'm
Of
saying it
course,
as a Duke
conference
fan.
championship means more than a regular season game. But you said the game means nothing.
To Duke fans, it did not.
I say in
That
Duke,
is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I say in Duke,
There were
Carolina,
100
be?
There were almost 100 former Duke players there.
if it
People
meant
paid
so much
$5,000
to
to
Duke,
get
if
in,
it meant
and
so much
means
to Duke,
nothing. No.
they would have won an ACC championship in the last 15 years, and they have. It's been 16 years since they won outright ACC.
Oh, yeah, but
It's not
now
that
when you
important.
go to
Now, Terry,
ACC tournament, it's a whole different story.
How many division titles has the Dallas Cowboys won? You have no idea.
No, not off the top of my head. I
because
don't.
your team has had success. So when you talk the Tar Heels and Duke, if you're talking about a fictitious game that didn't happen, nobody cares. They're going to talk about that game for the history
that's
of
gonna be
the
the-
series.
I agree.
And think about it. Every single
I
time
agree.
that they show the highlights between Duke and Carolina, Tom, you know what the 2 biggest highlights for Duke ever were? Coach K's last game and Jeff Capel hitting a 3-pointer. And that game they didn't even win because Stackhouse come and dunked on their head in overtime. So that's their biggest highlights. It was 2 games they lost. 2 games they lost is the biggest is Coach K's biggest highlights ever on ESPN.
But as a Duke fan, they're going to say, "Psh, what does that mean, guys?
I don't care what
I
We
bet
were
y'all got beat.
still,
What does that mean?
y'all
What
beat
does that
us.
mean?
This is how they're going to do it, though. Think about it. So,
Yeah, but
okay, so
if-
y'all
if-
won.
if they
Terry,
if they-
just because somebody made Terry,
so they got you one game closer
Tom,
to finishing second or third.
Terry, are you saying they're right? Is that your argument that they're right, or is that what they're going to say?
That's what they're going to say.
Okay, you're right. For 5 minutes, you've told us that's what they're going to say, and that's fine. And you're fully aware and fully capable of saying you're an idiot. That's their argument. Your argument is you're an idiot. You win. You win the argument, Terry. That's it. That's the only thing you got to worry about.
That's it. And
You're
walk
an idiot.
away.
That's
Because
what I'm just
we are
telling you.
ACC champions,
Oh my God.
and we will be ACC tournament champions if they win today.
No, you tell the Duke fan he's an idiot. Terry.
I'm just telling you. Well, you're not going to tell them that because they got everything to come back against you.
Oh my God. What?
When's the last time they won a national championship?
It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
When's the last time the Dukes won a national championship?
It's not been that long ago.
Roy won 2 since Coach K's last won his last.
That's what I thought.
Y'all see the new sign they put up at Cameron Indoor as soon as the game went over? Y'all see that? It says, on this site, March 5th, 2022, the Duke Blue Devils under last year coach Mike Krzyzewski suffered the monumental retirement celebration spoiling loss to the USC Tar Heels under first-year coach Hubert Davis.
That's awesome.
That's funny. It is. It's funny. But I'm just saying, Duke fans are not going to let y'all get over it with that. They're going to say, so what?
Because they're
if I was
hurting.
a
They're
Carolina
it's
fan-
because they're hurting so bad.
Instead of you finishing 4 games behind us, you finish at
Their
3.
egos have been
Who
destroyed.
cares?
And if I was a Carolina fan,
cares?
and
That's
if I
what
was
I'm
a
saying.
Carolina fan, I would say, and we've won 2 national championships since.
And they're
you've
going
been
to look
here.
at you again, Tom, and say, did we win the championship, the regular season? And you're going to say, yes, you did. Oh,
Terry.
When's the
I'm
last time
sorry.
we won the
Terry.
Natty?
That's
For
why we
30
play
years,
the game.
We won the national
Terry.
twice. We won the conference.
Terry, for 30 years, Cowboy fans have bragged about beating the Redskins, and they went 1-15, and you know it. And you know it. All right, let's see if we get some Coach K audio for this.
All
I
right,
think I'm in the right
computer.
spot. Not yet, Zach. Let me finish my sentence. I think I've got it in the right spot.
You didn't.
Let me hit some buttons, and then we'll be ready to rock, Zach. All right, try it now.
Today was unacceptable.
That tells you how bad it's going to be for them for the next 30 years.
I agree.
He goes to sleep nightmares about that now.
Yes, he ain't gonna retire. He'll be back. He'll be back.
He won't
And
be
I
back.
agree.
He's done.
Today was unacceptable.
That needs to be a soundbite. We need the new intern.
Oh, I got to get this pulled up.
We need the new intern to make some videos with that.
And every time Terry says something ridiculous, that's what we're going.
I'm
with.
not. I'm
Today
not
was
saying nothing ridiculous. I'm trying to be a Duke fan.
Listen
here. I
so-
mean, that's what they're going to
Today was
say.
unacceptable, but the season has been very acceptable.
That's Terry.
That's Terry. You see him wiping the tear from his eye.
Today was unacceptable.
Then he's
going
going to point at his guys and say, they are your regular season champions.
Holy White House spokesman! He just went on us, Tom. Don't worry, guys.
Terry Pasaki.
I'm just trying to tell you.
But the season
I want. If you could eject this in my veins, I want it.
No, I want us to make a soundbite with him doing that, and then we get the player in the background after that. After Hubert Davis grinning.
today was unacceptable.
What you need to do.
He's yelling at us.
Yeah. Y'all be quiet.
That no, please. I'm sorry about this afternoon. That no, please, no. Please, everyone be quiet. Let me just say, it's unacceptable.
He's having a hard time talking nice. See that?
But the season has been very acceptable.
See how much control he had over that whole crowd?
Yeah, I don't.
They all stop.
I don't like the guy.
That's called a cult. Right there's Tim Cook from Apple. Jerry Seinfeld was in the house. All these other Duke scrubs that showed up was in the house.
T.O. there?
A bunch of losers. But Tom, yes.
Why is Jerry Seinfeld there?
Cause it's just a big thing to do.
I was
They're the only ones that can afford a ticket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
that's
what
what they
Duke
do.
fans are. 90% of Duke fans have never been to Duke, never been to Durham, never will set foot there, and then they wear their little pretty blue shirts and are Duke. It's just the thing. It's the uppity thing to do.
Was
And
Tommy
you-
Amaker there?
I have no idea.
There's a
He
list.
might have been playing.
Look it on.
I mean-
look it up on the computer, Terry. It's got all. I think it was 90 former players that were there.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It's a lot of.
It
former
was a
players.
lot.
Now I understand the former players there, and I feel very satisfied in their disappointment in the game, but I don't understand why Jerry Seinfeld's there. Has Jerry Seinfeld even know where North Carolina is on the map?
Because
Well, he does now.
Super millionaire. He was sitting there. He was
He
sitting there
had
wearing his,
$5,000 to pay for the ticket,
See, but
Tom.
the thing is if Jerry Seinfeld's there, that means somebody this game actually means something to can't be there. See, that's what I don't understand. It's like, why do you want to go there when maybe somebody got their PhD from Duke in 1970 or something and was a former professor or something and wanted to be there? You know what I mean?
Tom,
he's got a son at Duke.
I guarantee.
He's got a son. at
Okay, well
Duke.
that makes sense then.
I
Okay, well if the
guarantee-
son is there, that makes sense.
There's
The
David Robinson's
fire
up beside him,
marshal-
Kevin.
The fire
Yeah.
marshal was
His
nowhere near
brother's
that
son
place.
played there.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah. So there's Jerry sitting beside Adam Silver.
Adam
David
Silver, I
Robinson.
understand why he's there.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I could see that, But still, even though Jerry Seinfeld, my son, goes to Duke, who cares? There's somebody that's more important to that
All right, let's
university
do
that
some-
needs to
some
or
bracket
Carolina,
time.
I don't understand it. This celebrity worship in this country is kind of
It's insane.
it's insane. Yeah.
Um,
insane.
I've got some comments from JJ Redick has been on a tear as far as in his podcasting, and he's had some comments, and some of the guys talking about have been coming. There's been starting some leaks on Coach K now that he's retiring. So leaks, as in things he says to people and how he treats people.
Oh yeah, you talked about it last night. Yeah, hey, I'm sure he's got some Bob Reynolds.
Bobby Knight.
Bobby Knight. If I can get it. If I can get it straight. Ron and Cherville. If you say Bobby, you say Reynolds. That's the way it goes. But Bobby Knight stuff that if you watch the ESPN special on that, it was just some of the things that Bobby Knight said were just you're going to get
anybody else did that.
It's going to hurt your feelings.
Oh my gosh.
See, Dean's never going to have that problem, is he, Kevin?
Of what?
Anybody coming out saying he was an awful person?
I don't think so. I think the worst thing he ever said or the worst thing he ever did was smoke cigarettes, and he used to regret that, and he used to hide it from people.
There's a lot of people used to say bad things about Dean Smith.
Yeah, Terry, you State fans.
Heck yeah, we did. As soon as y'all get the lead by 2, and all of a sudden here comes the 4
corners, baby.
Dean Smith wasn't nice to people who weren't like his players and all that. Because there was a guy who used to work for a Burger King who was a manager at the Burger King in Chapel Hill. And Dean Smith would come through, and it's like he ordered the same thing all the time, but he'd come through Burger King to get it. And he said, well, I tried one time. Coach Smith, I'm a huge fan. Thank you. He says, Coach Smith just handed me the money and took the food and drove off, But I don't blame him.
He might not be a super personable person. I don't know. Kevin's
he wasn't super personable to Dean Smith.
Yeah.
Like people.
Oh gosh, it's just like
depends on who you were. I think it depends. On
I will tell you a story about Coach K. From Kevin, you remember Neil was our cousin. Huge Tar Heel fan. Neil's he passed away in like 2005. He was like 32. Got sick with cancer. Huge Tar Heel fan, like die hard. And Coach K actually, he was at Duke. Coach K actually come to see him. And Neil was such a Tar Heel fan. He says, "You can come to see me." He said, "But you're not coming in the door." He said, "You could stop right there." So he did come to see him on that one right there, though.
I can picture Neil.
Neil said, "You will not come in my room."
Oh gosh,
it was pretty funny.
He was a big Redskins fan.
Huge.
Daddy used to. Him and Dad used to get into it pretty good with that. I love Neil. So let's see. This is one of the comments. Reddick talking about it. He said it was a timeout in the second half. No, this is Jason Tatum said this. He said there was a timeout in the second half, and you can see it, the body language is bound in the court. And coach comes back to the huddle, and he says, and he looks at each kid, and he says, "I hate your effing face. I hate your effing face. Your effing face sucks, and you've effing sucked too." Pointed at each kid and told him how bad the effing sucked.
That's Bobby Knight.
And then he said, this was just a timeout. And he said, I thought to myself, how many times has this happened over the years? And how many different versions of that has happened? So that's I think you're going to get a lot more of those. You haven't heard anything like that come out. But I think you're going to a whole lot more of that.
But somehow Krzyzewski's on the sportsmanship video that we're going to show to all coaches in the state of North Carolina. That's just give me a break.
Well, let's go over some bracketology for Tommy.
Oh, this bracketology is I got my own opinions.
So Terry's talking about how great this ACC tournament championship is, Tommy, and they're not even going to be in the
That's what I'm talking about. First,
no, they'll get in. I think their tournament run will get them in.
They're in.
ESPN says first team out is Virginia Tech.
Joe Leonardo.
Last team in is Xavier.
Get real, Joe.
Top
putting
overall
Indiana
seed, Gonzaga.
They belong in.
Here's your bubble teams. Last 4 buys: Iowa State, Rutgers, Notre Dame, Indiana. Last 4 in: Wyoming, Michigan,
last
SMU,
4 buys.
and
Look
Xavier.
how far Indiana's jumped because they beat a couple teams.
First 4 out: Virginia Tech, Oklahoma, Wake Forest, Dayton, Texas A&M are the next 4 out. BYU, St. Louis, and VCU. Your 68-team bracket.
Michigan does not deserve in.
I agree.
Michigan sitting at the 12th seed.
First round.
In the bracket. Out west, you'd have Gonzaga number 1, Texas a 5, UCLA 4, Purdue a 2. In the south, Arizona 1, Duke 2, LSU 6, Texas Tech 3 out there, Illinois 4. Did you see Duke or Coach K was requesting to play in the Midwest to play near his family?
Let's just say it don't matter.
Like
because you're retiring?
They've never seen one of his 1,000 games.
I mean, really?
Why did they come to the
Where are they out of?
Where's his family from?
I don't know, but they should have came Chicago.
You got Carolina's at 8, so I figured a 7.
So Krzyzewski's family's from the Chicago.
He wanted to play in the Chicago area.
Yeah, he's in that.
So
now that way he talks, that makes sense.
Yeah. Who's Carolina up against? They say?
Creighton.
They've got Carolina 8-9 seed right now. But the seeds.
Creighton lit Providence.
I wish they'd let the seeds play at home the first round. That would be cool.
Is that Greenville, South Carolina? Ohio State.
Where are we looking at on the board?
It says Fort
Right,
Worth.
left.
It is
Greenville. South. I might go down there and watch
against
that.
Miami.
I might go down there and watch
Yeah.
that. I watched Miami will probably beat Ohio State. I'm just going to tell you, Ohio State just you don't know which Ohio State team's going to show up.
Kentucky the 2, Wisconsin the 3, Providence 4, Iowa 5, and Kansas the 1 out in the Midwest. Speaking of Kansas and some of those, you see Bruce Weber's comments as he is quitting/retiring out in Kansas State, talking about his team not ever being accused of cheating, and unlike some of the other Blue Bloods, he's on the competition committee, so he's on the thing where Bill Self and them, they committed 4 or 5 fractions. He thinks they should be punished, and he's losing his job, and Self's keeping it and doing what he does, and whatever he's accusing them of cheating and doing, he's not too thrilled about them. Put it that way. All right, so tonight, conference breakdown, the ACC with 4 teams. Terry, I mean, what's wild to me about that, and just in general, is that there used to be 9 teams, 8 teams in the ACC,
but
and you get more than that every time.
But
now you got how many teams? 12, 15, 16 teams.
Then they get bounced.
20 teams now, and now nobody's in.
You got to sit back, and I like it when they break down what have you done against the top tier teams.
Yeah,
Indiana. I mean, right now they're beating a few teams, but then if you go to Rutgers is tremendous against the top teams. Sometimes you got to look at that. Michigan's not good against the top teams. I mean, you have to look at stuff like that. Now you're taking the ACC's down to 4. Come on, there's more teams than 4 can get in out of the ACC. Wake Forest deserves to be in. Now they got them on that bubble. There's Indiana. I mean, not Indiana, but Virginia Tech on that bubble.
A 23-9 team. ACC team is on the bubble.
Which one?
Wake Forest.
Yeah.
Wake Forest is 23-9.
23-9.
They finished 13-7 in the conference, and we're talking about putting teams who had losing records in the Big Ten in the tournament.
That's what I'm saying. We used to have 8, 9 teams in the conference, and you'd get 4, 5, 6 teams every time. Then someone would even be like, "Can we get them all?" And then now you got all these teams. You can't get more than 4 or 5 teams. That's weird. To say though, they shouldn't get at least 5 out of all those teams. Wake Forest 23-9.
Yeah, under 10 wins. I mean, under 10 losses.
Right.
You got to be in.
And they had Virginia Tech on that bubble all year long, from probably the 3rd week into the season.
Now
when they
they're
put them
7th.
Now I can understand Florida State not making it. Syracuse not going to make anybody down below that.
Right. Florida State's 500.
Say
everybody above them.
Yeah.
7 teams.
7 teams.
We should have
500.
7 teams in the tournament.
Well, the Big Ten has
20
9
wins. I mean,
how many teams in the Big Ten right now, Tom?
14.
And 9 of them going to get in?
Yeah.
I'm not going to disagree with that, Terry. I think it's overweighted.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand they're good.
Indiana,
I mean, if you go down there, but
did they
Michigan,
win
17-14.
17-14. We got a 23-9 Wake Forest team.
And there's the Indiana at 9-11 in the conference, and they talking about them getting in.
20-12 overall, 9-11 in the conference.
I would definitely let Wake Forest.
Wake Forest 13-7 in the ACC. But my point with a lot of this is, and always has been, is that I would rather see teams from some of the lesser conferences. I'd rather see a second team for some of the lesser conference get in than the 9th Big Ten team.
Yeah.
By being 9th, what is that proving? Have you proved that you are capable of winning a national championship?
Your 9th best in your conference.
Yeah, I mean, move it out to the side and look at what Rutgers has done against top teams. There's a team, and they're 18-13, but they deserve to be in because when they're playing elite teams, they're winning.
Rutgers is 5-4 in the top.
Yeah,
in AP.
That's what I'm saying. They deserve to be in.
Now,
if you've won more than you've lost against top tier teams,
Iowa 1-5 against AP top 25, Terry, and they're sitting there in the ranked 24th.
24-9. Go back to
it is a
Wake Forest and see, because that's a comparable.
9.
But what was their AP?
Well, we can look at that real quick. Wake Forest 0-2 and they be top 25 because they don't have anybody in the ACC rank.
In the ACC, that's nothing. So I mean, maybe that's hurting. I mean, I understand.
Well, no. I mean, even
lot.
Duke's only got 2. I mean, because they don't have any.
The ACC's ranked,
and it's because they didn't rank the ACC teams. Then.
But if you go to Virginia Tech, I mean, we talked about them, but they're 1-3.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you look at it out there. So I guess
it's because all the teams that's in their conference is ranked that they get
to play them week in and week out. Yeah.
So basically, they're giving them a modifier on their record.
And don't get me wrong, I will sit here and say that the Big East and the Big Ten, as far as physical basketball, you better be ready to play, because if you come not ready to play, you're going to get beat. I mean, it's simple. I mean, that happens even in football and any other thing. They're going to bring the muscle to you. You just got to be ready to play the same type of game.
Zach, that was Jones Angel tweeted that was the first time in Carolina history that four players.
I was thinking since the 90s
had scored 20 or more points in a game.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
Armando Baycock with his double last night extends his Carolina single season record to 25 games with a double. The other note, one thing about the Coach K and stuff again, Duke was apparently upset that Carolina did not honor Coach K in Chapel Hill last month. Terry.
Now, here I am.
He was so speechless on that one.
No, here I am. Now I'm on the reverse side. I'm not honoring you for anything that you do when you tell everybody I'm going out a year early. That's a player. That is a player that's playing to say that, not a coach. I mean, Roy Williams, and I'm going to put it this way. I'm not a Carolina fan. I'm not a Duke fan. Roy Williams did it the right way. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm finished. Whatever I did this year, I'm giving it up. Coach K come back, and everywhere Coach K won, people were like giving him prizes. I mean, come on. Prizes for what? Coming up here thumping me every time you come?
Yeah.
Not say anything nice.
You know, that's what I'm saying. As a player, it's a different story because, you know what, we're glad you're leaving because you scored 40 against us last game we played you.
All right, last thought before we get out of here. Jay Billis put out his Duke's all-time starting five. Let's see if how we can name them one at a time.
Did he put himself on it?
Lord, no. Oh, Lord. All right, so as slow as we can, nobody blur it out. I'm going to give you each one a guess. We'll start with Zach. Name me one player on Jay Billis's all-time starting five.
Grant Hill.
Why does he get to go first?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the easiest one of all.
Yes.
Cousins.
Grant Hill is on everybody's.
Go ahead.
We'll go Serpentine draft, Tom.
Okay.
Terry.
Okay.
Name me another Duke all-time starting five
There's
on
another
Jay
big gimme.
Billis's.
All right, Jay Billis's. I'm going to go Carlos Boozer.
No.
No. Oh, well. See there?
Christian Laettner.
That's
he's
number
on
two.
there.
Yeah.
He's on
That's
there.
what I was
Christian
thinking.
Laettner
He is
on
on there.
Jay Billis's top five Duke players.
I tried to make it hard, Tom. Don't pick the
Make-
ones you
make
know
it
is on
hard.
there.
All right, Tom, you get another choice. We'll go Serpentine.
Danny Ferry.
Good choice.
Yes! Tom named Danny Ferry.
This is Jay Billis we're talking
Makes Jay Billis's.
Jay
now,
Billis.
remember, though,
Gotta know.
in his defense, Tom, he's one of the only Duke players to win an NBA championship and actually be good at Duke at the same time. Almost all the Duke players that won a championship were bench warmers.
Or Boozer did, didn't he? Did Boozer not win one? No, I was thinking of the other one. Battier.
Battier won too. Now he was a good one. So Tom, we've got Grant Hill, Christian Laettner, and Danny Ferry. I need two more, Terry.
Okay, I'm going to go next, and I'm going to throw that
I need
off.
guards.
I'm
That's
going to let
your
you.
front court. I
I'm going
need
to go
guards.
Johnny Dawkins.
Yes, Johnny Dawkins did make.
I would not have got that. I would have picked Jay Williams.
Terry, did make Jay Billis's top five, and one more guard.
Bobby Hurley.
I'll let see if Tom can guess this one. Zach can see my screen over here.
I was going to go with Bobby Hurley.
Yeah, good
Such
pick.
a liar.
I know I was. I'm doing the guys. There it is. Bobby Hurley.
Bobby Hurley, Johnny Dawkins, Grant Hill, Danny Ferry, Christian Laettner.
I would have had Jay Williams in there.
If I am doing
Or Shane
that,
Battier. Shane Battier's. You can make an
Best
argument for him.
defensive guy that was ever there.
well,
Make an argument for him.
Here we go, where defense means nothing.
Where's the tripping guy?
It doesn't, Terry.
Where's the guy punching people and tripping? What was his name?
He just got
What was
Grayson,
that guy?
that a couple
Grayson
weeks
Allen.
ago.
Grayson Allen.
So
Where's he at?
if I'm taking
Six man. He's a six man.
if I'm taking my picks on this, I'm not a Duke fan. I agree with Zach on. I think Jay Williams was about the most unguardable guard that they've had. Redick was close, but he couldn't dribble like him. So I would put in Jay for Bobby Hurley, and I would replace Danny Ferry with. Nobody said his name yet, but Elton Brand has been fantastic. He was good in college. He's good in the NBA, and I think Elton Brand's the best power
Where's Cherokee
forward
Parks?
that they have. Cherokee Parks is nowhere.
Yeah, but
near
now think of these
their top
guys right
20
here. How
20
many of
I'm
these
just
guys
joking.
played 3 or 4 years? All of them, right?
I'm not sure about. Well, yeah, Duke didn't have anybody go.
Okay, so I
go
mean, I'm
early,
first
so-
one to say if you're one and done, you don't even need to be talked about.
Correct.
So no Kyries for them.
No,
No.
none of them
Kyrie
guys.
was 7 games. And
I mean, you
done.
can't
Did
put
Brandon
down.
only play 1 year, dude?
Who?
You know.
Or did he play?
I
Brandon
think he only
multiple,
played
didn't
one.
Who's that?
Elton Brand. I think he only played one.
That's
was
what
in
I'm
Chicago
saying. Those
at
guys
20,
shouldn't
so
even
I don't
be
know.
even thought about.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll take that argument. I was just saying the best in general, but if you're going to throw Kyrie in on that,
We could put our 95, 96, 97 team all together for Tar Heels and beat that team.
beat any team. Ain't nobody gonna beat any of that
Stackhouse
team,
and
except for
Wallace,
Wilt Chamberlain or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Jameson and Carter.
All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. JP, you ready? We've got NBA, we've got NFL quarterbacks to talk about. All kinds of NFL quarterback stuff to talk. We got baseball. We're talking baseball. Tom's getting barked at by Vader, and more. We'll be back in a few minutes. KTCBroadcasting.com.
With the consolidation of Hopper's Heated and Air and Shelby Heated and Air, the company is growing by leaps and bounds. And now Shelby Heated and Air is hiring technicians. That's right, they are now hiring service technicians. Get great pay, great benefits, and paid technical training. You can apply online at shelbyheating.com or call their office at 704-487-7877. Your future is waiting for you at Shelby Heating and Air, 1990 Eves Road in Shelby. Take the Stairway of Savings upstairs at Kurt's Premium Outlet, Eastridge Mall in Gastonia. Upstairs, you'll find a dining table and 4 chairs for $179. Graco Pack and Play Day 2 Dream Bassinets, $119.50. South Street Loft Comforters are $18. Glass top tables, $88. Aroma Spa Oil and Wax Warmers, $7.50 each. An L-shaped desk, just $180. Upstairs at Kurt's Premium Outlet, Eastridge Mall on North New Hope Road in Gastonia. Like them on Facebook too. Spring is sprung at Jumpin' Jed's in Falston. Check out the new arrivals like Rust and Feathers Farm and Goat Milk Soap. Also beard butter and beard oil, all locally handcrafted. Plus, be sure to get some Valley Fudge and candy with 12 varieties of fudge to choose from. Jumpin' Jed's has Naked Bee products. Get all the good stuff, none of the bad stuff. And now locally made colonial braided rugs with a big selection to choose from. Jumpin' Jed's, downtown Falston, right across from the old Stamey store. Like them on Facebook too.
When you're in the field, downtime is not an option. That's why now is the time for a service inspection at James River Equipment. Whether you own a John Deere tractor, planter, forage harvester, or baler, when it comes to quick diagnosis and expert service professionals, James River delivers. Schedule your service at your local James River location or online at jamesriverequipment.com. James River delivers.
Just in Time Plumbing, a leading residential and commercial company, serves Cleveland and Gaston counties. Family owned and operated, they can handle all your plumbing needs. New home construction plumbing, commercial sinks, waterline repairs, clogged drains, and more. And on Renai tankless water heaters, they offer financing and a 15-year warranty. Just in Time Plumbing, on time, on budget, 24/7. Call 704-600-8350 or check them online at justintimeplumbing.net. Just in Time Plumbing, every time. 107 South City Street, Kings Mountain. Check out the new arrivals at Eric Johnson Auto Sales in Cherryville. Take a look at a 2015 Audi A3, 81,000 miles, priced at $16,700. Or how about a 2013 GMC Acadia SLT with front-wheel drive for $15,900. And a 2014 Volvo S60 TS at $12,900. That's Eric Johnson Auto Sales, 3629 Tryon Courthouse Road in Cherryville. Online at ericjohnsonautosales.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. Tom, why don't you tell everybody about Shelby Heating and Air?
Shelby Heating and Air, bringing you Saturday morning sports talk. Call them 704-487-7877 for your heating and air needs. Need to get that air conditioning tuned up? Give them a call. And there it is, $20 off a performance tune-up or a service call, 20% off. These coupons are on the website, so check out their website. And I believe it's shelbyheating.com on the web. Or if you could just Google Shelby Heating and Air, it'll pop up for you. Get yourself a good deal on a new system or some service today.
Looking up some, trying to find some fun NBA stuff for us if I can. But I don't really have a fun tweet. But anyway, $200 off complete installation. Yeah, like Tom said, Shelby Heating and Air. All right, over in the NBA, that's not the NBA button. I was looking to press. We've got Terry's favorite team, the Lakers, seem to be falling apart. What are they going to do?
Well, they won.
LeBron had 50 again.
Yeah, they won last night. He's had 50 twice this week.
Yeah, first guy his age to have two 50-point games.
So that fixed everything?
Yeah, it fixed everything. What are you, crazy? As long as LeBron's doing well, ESPN just, I guess I can use an analogy. It's not appropriate.
Well, he's finally realized his hairline needed fixing, so he's cut his hair.
He's keeping it low.
He's keeping it very low. I don't know if you've seen some of the. They're just inept. If you watch some of the videos when they played Houston, I don't know if y'all seen some of the videos from that last week. He goes in for at the end of the game, free chance at a layup. Guess what he does?
And the pass.
He kicks it out to Carmelo.
We've talked about that for a few years.
He's done that for quite a few years.
Wide open layup.
And that's one fun thing you can ask the LeBron lovers as far as the Jordan thing is that if you drew up a play to end the game, LeBron's play ends up him passing to somebody else. And if they were on the same team, would it not be LeBron passing to Michael, Terry? And then would you not say
probably Michael might not even give it up?
He'd let LeBron bring it to half court, and then hit him on cutting off the wing and get the guy on his hip. But after that, you get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about their argument is the guy who dribbled up to half court and passed it to him is greater than the other one because he can just run over people and they let him run over people. Weirdest thing I've ever seen. But anyway, they are now. I was trying to pull up the standings. I'm getting a little slow here on my hookup. They are now the 9 seed, as is our local Charlotte Hornets, and I don't know what they'll do if LaMelo and LeBron's not in the playoffs. The ESPN might just shut their doors. Phoenix the 1 right now, Memphis the 2. James Wiseman coming back for Golden State this week. Utah the 4, Dallas 5, Denver 6, Minnesota 7, and Clippers 8. And Zach, I told you got to come up with we needed a trivia question because I want to give away some Hornets tickets here in just a little bit today. So I'm going to have something for you guys shortly. Lakers,
I got one.
The 9, and then Pelicans, the 10. We'll talk about it in a minute. Looking at, let's see, the West, the Magic have been eliminated from the playoffs. First team eliminated. So, yeah, the Lakers got beat by the Rockets. So Miami the 1, Milwaukee 2, Philadelphia 3, Chicago 4, Boston 5, Cleveland 6, Toronto 7, Brooklyn 8. Now, after the trade the other night, they played Embiid and Kyrie and everybody got together and got a little playing time. And Kyrie played a little defense on James Harden. And James Harden being from Philadelphia is that what you expected, Terry? Or rumor has it that Embiid told Durant in that argument that he can be, he said, I can be, I think, Jordan, I can be Akeem, or I can be Shaq. And Durant's like, okay. And told him he's going to lose, basically, put it that way. But anyway, that's what they did to him. And so I don't know how Ben Simmons is going to affect it or where they go or what they do. But it's going to be tough. I think the key in that trade that they got is Seth Curry.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's hard to guard Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving one-on-one. And somebody's going to be open. And they're going to try to leave Ben Simmons open, but they really don't even need him at the end of games like that to where if you leave someone else open, he's going to hit Seth Curry. Or then they got Drummond in there now, a younger big man. So their centers are Drummond, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Blake Griffin are the backups. So that's a ton of fouls. They're doing the old Chicago Bulls style. Terry, they're just going to throw 3 big men in there, and they got 18 fouls. Let's play. That's what Chicago used to do. It's like, we don't need him to do anything, but hand the ball to Michael when he on the pick and roll. Luke Longley could hit a jumper every now and then. But
so y'all think Brooklyn is somebody to look out for?
Absolutely.
I do not.
Well, which one of those teams in the East is beating them?
34 and 33 on the year.
Right,
Without a lot of people been missing all year long.
Right.
But
With
I
James
know
Harden.
when the Kyrie first come back, who's he has to play? Boston. Boston beat them again. I mean, with all of them out there, Kevin Durant and everybody. So, I mean, and that's only the 5th place team. So I just don't think Brooklyn's going to be like they was last year. They're going to make maybe 2nd round, maybe 3rd, but then they're going to be gone. They're not going to win it. They're not going to come out of the East to represent the East. I don't think they've got enough firepower on the team to withstand a 7-game season without one of them same guys who's been hurt all year long to get hurt again.
Now, Terry, where's Kyrie not been playing at this year? At home, right?
Yeah, so far, but they dropped that vaccine requirement for indoor stuff in New York, so I think he's good.
I lost the graphic, Tom. He can't play still. Get this. Kyrie can work out with the team before everyone can come in the stadium, okay? Mm-hmm. Kyrie can warm up on the court, warm up. Kyrie can sit on the bench during the game. Kyrie can sit in the 2nd row. Kyrie can sit in the luxury booth. Kyrie can do anything in that building but receive a paycheck and stand on that floor.
Okay, so who put him in that spot? Kyrie put him in that spot.
Whoa, that's not what we're arguing about. I'm just telling you there's the rules. So that's the rules of him. So he's not been playing at home. That's the new rules that whatever governors put him in there. Now, on the road, they're 21-15. That's the best record. They have the most wins on the road in the East, tied with Miami, tied with Philadelphia. That is with Kyrie getting to play some of those games. That is with, now you don't have, that's with Kevin Durant being out, 2 or 3 weeks. So they have a winning record on the road. They have a losing record at home without Kyrie. They're 13-18. So my point is, Terry, in a 7-game series, let's go just down the roster. Let's go Miami. Who's scoring with Durant in Miami? You know how playoffs work. Who's scoring with Durant in Miami?
It's not the point. They win last year. Had the same people plus Harden.
Terry, they lost to the NBA champion with Durant's toe was on the line. If his toe was 1 inch back, we might be having a different conversation. So the point is, they can win. You're saying they can't win nothing.
I don't think they can.
Well, you just said they get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Hey, yeah, but they're not going to represent the East in the championship once.
So they can beat every team in the East but one. So which team can they not beat?
These are teams. A lot of teams right there. But anybody, and I would say they're in 8th place. I think they can beat Toronto, and I think in a 7-game series they beat Cleveland. But from there up, they might beat Chicago.
Terry, they would beat you.
Yeah, that's what I said. They'd play Chicago, but they'll not beat Boston, Philly, Milwaukee, and Miami.
They just beat Philly at home by 30.
I mean, Boston's beat them and thumped them.
Durant just went in Philly's face in their home and just took it to them. And Ben Simmons ain't even on the court to guard anybody. They even got his 5 fouls.
Ben Simmons is going to hurt them.
They got 24 fouls now,
when he's
Terry.
out there. Yeah, when he's out there, he's going to hurt them.
They got Simmons fouls. They've got Andre Drummond's. They've got 20 fouls to throw at Joel Embiid. Now, Tom.
But you gave up Harden.
Tom.
To go get these
Draymond
people.
averages 7, 7, and 7, and he helps them win championships. Ben Simmons averages 16, 7, and 7. He's going to hurt them.
He will. Because who you going to foul at the end?
He's better than Draymond.
You're not running to foul Draymond.
Why
you're running to foul Simmons because he knows he can't.
They're not
hit
even going to leave him in there, though.
He knows he can't hit.
They don't even have to leave him in there.
There's a difference. I'm going to the line knowing I can hit, or going to the line knowing I'm going to miss.
But he's not even going to be in there in the late game if that has to happen.
Brooklyn are not making it. Okay. We can talk about Durant. We can talk about Irvin all you want to, but they're in the number 8 spot.
Okay.
They might get beat in the first game they play and be done.
By who?
You play Toronto. Toronto comes to play.
If they lose to them, Terry, they get another game against the winner of the Hawks and Hornets.
Yeah, you do. But, I mean, you're not going to win.
I tell you what. Since, we're not going to put up any real money, we're going to bring in a monopoly money. And we're all going to be passed around the money. And then when Terry makes these things like this, like they couldn't get past the Hornets in a playoff game. Is that what you're saying? They won't beat the Hornets?
Possibility. They're in number 8 spot. They're in the 8th spot.
Is the same roster that they have right now the same one that has that record right there?
You could say that about every team up through there.
Terry, James Harden got that record right there.
They had everybody
that
on
that
the
record
court.
right there has nothing to do with Kyrie Irving.
They had everybody on the court when they
Nothing to
went to
do
Boston, and Boston beat them.
with Andre Drummond. Okay, they lost one game, Terry. You beating them in 7?
Yeah.
All right.
Because Game 7's in Boston.
All right.
It's not in
I'm just
Brooklyn.
waiting for someone to answer me. All right. Miami. Who's outscoring Durant?
It doesn't matter who's outscoring who.
That's just a question. Is anybody? Is it yes or no, Tom? Anybody outscoring Durant in Miami?
No.
Milwaukee. You have
Giannis.
a chance with Giannis.
Giannis.
Okay, so let's start with them. Now, who's their second best player in Milwaukee?
Middleton.
Is he outscoring Kyrie?
I think he's got a chance to.
Could be close. Now, who's Milwaukee's third best player?
Holiday.
Drew Holiday. Is he outscoring whoever the heck else is on? I don't even know who's on the net. Steph Curry. About the same.
Yeah.
So you've got a good matchup there. They went 7 games. A toe was on the line. Now, let's do Philadelphia. Is Embiid going to outpost and outscore a Durant?
Good possibility.
He could.
Brooklyn has no inside guy.
I didn't say they did.
Embiid
I
will
said, is Durant
outscore
going to outscore
anybody inside.
Is Durant going to outscore Embiid is the question. It doesn't matter if Mason
He's not
Plumlee's-
going to match up against him.
That's not what... Terry.
I mean,
on the scoreboard, when they put it on the score, it doesn't say 2 points, star next to it. Durant didn't guard Embiid. It's going to say Durant had 30 points. Embiid had 22.
You look at basketball different than I do.
Yeah, I do. And I'm completely right about way
No,
more
you're
things
not.
than I am.
If Durant
you think
can
Draymond
score
Green's
50,
the reason Golden State wins, I think it's Kevin Durant.
No, here's
That's
the
the difference
deal.
between me and you.
No, the
It's not
difference
even
is
close.
this. Is like when Carolina beat Duke the other day, they had 4 guys scoring 20 points. That's how I look at it. Not one guy, how many he's going to score.
I take your point, Terry. That's the first time in the history of North Carolina basketball it ever happened.
But that's
so
what I'm saying.
My way wins every time. And
No,
you won one
no,
time
it
in the history
does
of
not.
basketball. You just won
Not
one
in
time.
the NBA, it does not.
Terry, the best player in the NBA has won every championship. Every championship. Go back. The best player has been on every championship team. The last time it didn't happen was the Pistons. Can you name another one that didn't have the best player in the series? Name me one, Terry. There isn't. That's my key, is that when it comes to 7 games, Kevin Durant against Joel Embiid, who's going to win 4 out of the 7 times? And I'm taking the 7-foot guy that can dribble and shoot over the 7-foot guy that's tall and that's slower. They can't dribble like him. Are you taking Harden's heart? Is that what we're going with?
I'll take the 4 guys who scoring 25 points a game.
Harden's been on 7. They don't. Oh, good God! They don't have 24 points.
I don't
They
need
get 25
Durant
points a
scoring
game.
50 for me
All right,
to have a chance
so-
to win.
All right. So the point of the exercise was to be that no one in the East in a 7-game series has a chance, besides maybe Milwaukee, of scoring with the Brooklyn Nets up with them. Now, Terry, will you name me a team that can be? You say all of them, but Philadelphia. They just played them the other night.
They can't.
29 points in Philadelphia. So Embiid got his 27, right? Durant got his 25. They're gonna. Where is volume? They're gonna negate each other. Is my point with them. So after that, it's a game of where are you going to get your points from who? Brooklyn got 46 points from Kyrie and Steph Curry. The Sixers' next 2 top points were 27 points from Harris and Harden. That's why they lost. That's why they got beat by 29. They got outscored by 20-some points right there. That's my point. When it's not that Kevin Durant is guarding Joel Embiid. Embiid's going to get his 27. And then Durant's going to get his 27. But after that, who's else they're
Wait a
going to get?
minute. Don't flip the page, Jared, because when I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, who's not going to do this? I believe Harden was 3 out of 17. How many games does Harden go 3 out of 17?
That's horrible. That is
If
horrible.
he scores his point, Philadelphia wins going away.
Terry, he had 11. He averages 20, 22? So if he got 10 more points, that'd have got beat by 19.
Why didn't Ben Simmons play?
Do you really want to get into that?
I don't know if he'll ever play. I honestly don't know if he'll ever play.
So
his feelings have been hurt.
He hasn't played for Brooklyn yet.
No.
No. They went and got him to pay him, and him sitting on
and
the
then
bench.
they beat the 3 seed.
They got Seth Curry. Seth Curry sitting there popping 20 points a game.
But when they played Boston, they got thumped.
I don't understand. He hasn't played all year, has he?
No.
I want a job where you're considered the best thing going, and you get paid. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to go to work.
Is there anything physically wrong with him?
Not now. No, it's a mental mind.
Now, Terry keeps saying Brooklyn got thumped by Boston. It was 6 points. So that's a thumping, but them beating Philadelphia by 29 doesn't mean anything. 6 points, Terry. Durant had 37.
You know what Kyrie said?
Jason Tatum had 54.
Do you know
things that don't happen all the
Kyrie
time.
said? Kyrie was so mad after Boston beat him because the people in Boston booed him.
He got 54 points.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
They should have booed him.
Right, they should have.
They should have.
That's fine. They should have. I ain't saying nothing great about Kyrie. I'm just saying it's gonna be tough to beat them in 7 games. No matter what. Listen, the Bulls and the Heat are gonna run out a good starting lineup. They are. DeRozan will have a shot at it. We'll see if they match up how that works out. Out west, you've got Golden State sitting there in the 3 seed, waiting to get all their guys back. Phoenix is in the 1 seed, but no Chris Paul for quite a while. Will they end up losing that? But they've got a 7-game lead. I don't know if they can lose that in 20 games. I doubt it. Memphis is sitting there. Are they going to do anything? Terry, who you got out of the West?
Not Phoenix or Golden State. There's only 2 out there to pick.
Out there. I agree with that.
I mean, Utah's good, but they're not going to be able to match up. I mean, Memphis, Morant, is it what all else you got to bring with him? I mean, he's got to score 40.
Yeah.
There you go again.
Every game.
Can Morant score 40 to 50? No, he cannot do that every game. There's no way. Kevin Durant, can he do that? Yeah. Kevin Durant is a high-class scorer, but Morant is not. I don't see Morant averaging 40 points a game to keep his team in a 7-game series.
I think he'll end up averaging 40 a game because he has to, and they'll lose by 15 every game.
It happened.
It'll be Damian Lillard. It'll be that, and that's that point guard scoring thing. Like you just said there, you don't have any you don't have any help. Regular season, nobody's trying. You can win some games. What about Denver sitting there in that 6th seed? Are they gonna make any noise with Jokic
We've
playing out of his
watched them
mind?
play every year, and they choke going down stretch.
Well, my opinion is they have the most dumbest coach of all time, but
second most.
Is he second most?
Charlotte's got the worst.
You think Borrego's worse?
Terry might think Boston's coach is worse.
Borrego is pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't know how he keeps his job.
Well, we'll see. He'll probably get
in
another
Boston,
year.
Marcus Smart changed that whole team.
Yeah.
When he come out and told them to pass the ball, and we'll be better.
Who's the coach of the Celtics, Terry?
Who cares?
Still doesn't know.
Who cares?
Don't look it up.
He's gonna research that one day, isn't he?
Yep.
The kids. The players are playing themselves.
He doesn't know who the coach is, but they're gonna beat Kevin Durant.
They will. They've almost swept them this whole year. Maybe lost once to them out of 5 games.
Gosh, you're so fun. All right, let's see. Any other news and notes on the NBA there for you, Tommy?
I just hope Jared Allen gets back. He said he's out indefinitely. I don't know. I could see the Cavs might fall out of the playoffs, Kevin. I mean, they've got
you got 10 seeds. Everybody's in the playoffs.
10.
I don't know, man.
Tom, you're 10 games over 500. You're falling out of the playoffs.
You're not even in the playing
play-in.
games. Yeah, you're not even in the playing games yet.
I'm telling you, they got a tough schedule coming up. They got to play Chicago. They got to play Denver. There's a tough schedule coming up, and without Jared Allen and his rim protection, he's made it. They've had a lot of injuries. And I mean, even LeVert, who they recently required, he's missed some time. So it's just been bad luck.
All right, Zach, play win-loss with me, okay?
Okay.
Hornets. Rest of the season. At Oklahoma City.
I'll say win.
Home versus Atlanta.
I'm going to give them a win.
Home versus Dallas.
Loss.
Home versus Pelicans.
I'm going to give them a win.
Home versus Knicks.
They got a favorable schedule. They can win all these games. I'm going to give them a win against the Knicks. They not played well.
Home against the Jazz.
Loss.
At Brooklyn.
Loss.
Home against Denver.
Loss.
At Knicks.
I'm going to give them another loss. Ooh, that ain't good.
At Philadelphia.
A loss.
At Miami.
A loss.
Home versus the Magic.
A win.
At Chicago.
Loss.
Home versus Washington.
Win. Under 500?
6
and 8.
Under 500. That's basically what their record is, right? You know, if you would multiply the record out, they're about percentage-wise, that's pretty close, ain't it?
They're 33, and they're 2 games under 500 right now. Before the season, I told everyone they'd be right at 500. If they have a good year, might get to 45 wins.
Why would they lose at the Knicks?
Just because I said they won. They won it at home with them.
Okay.
I think they would split with them. I don't think
I think they'd have a good chance to go up there and beat the Knicks.
I mean, that would be one of the games
Maybe
I think they could.
7-7 instead of 6 and 8.
They
Good
lost.
possibility.
They lost at home against Detroit.
And we could win the Dallas game.
Well, no, see,
honestly,
the thing about NBA games, you could take 4 or 5 of those games. It's going to be the complete opposite of whatever you think.
Right.
So whatever you guess on that is probably in the. They got. What I'm saying is that they're not going 10-5 or 10-4, are they?
No, they're going to be 500.
So we're sitting in the.
They're exactly where
we're
they
in
are.
the play-in spot. Nothing's changed.
They're not moving.
So they're going to have to beat Atlanta or have to beat Washington to win one game.
Unless they poo-poo
it all. They have to beat the loser of Cleveland or Toronto or Brooklyn.
They're not going to poo-poo it all unless they just horrible and the Wizard get in or something, and they get out. I mean, they're 4 games above those teams.
So Charlotte has just 14 games remaining?
Yes.
Yeah, it's getting close.
68. They played 68 games.
82.
14 to go. 5 teams in the East have won over 40 games.
There'll be one of them games where they beat a team they're not supposed to, and they'll lose to a team they're not supposed to. And
right, it happens all the time.
Orlando will probably beat us
weird.
again.
Yeah. Coming down the stretch, teams are it's kind of even out a little bit than what it normally. Then earlier in the season, teams are kind of finding rotations and stuff. But you know how my feelings about the Hornets as far as they go. As long as that point guard keeps firing them up, and teams not trying to make them do that. They're defending them that way.
Oh yeah.
They're like, go ahead, shoot.
Well, anytime you play Charlotte now, it's how many points you can score.
He's 6 of 12 against the Celtics. The game they won by 30 was that against Cleveland. Tom, he didn't play but like 5 minutes,
something like that.
And I don't know. If y'all think it might be Borrego, maybe it is. The fans won't. Tom, a lot of fans don't like Borrego because they think he should be playing LaMelo more, and more and more. And like you ought to see the Twitter. Like they're like they don't think he should ever sit the bench. Basically, there's half the fan base. And I told you, Zach, when they drafted him, we're in Cam Newton land now. The only thing that's going to get rid of him is his daddy and his comments. And you're stuck with him for 4 or 5 years. We're going to be in 4 or 5 years. We're going to be sitting there in that 8-9 seed again. They ain't never done nothing for him. They're not fixing anything. Well, he's the rookie of the year. He should be paid this. He should get this. And he's going to be gone, traded, whatever. And we're going to waste 4 or 5 years selling hot dogs. That's my only big issue with it. So, whatever. Let's see. NCAA. Ooh, I do want to mention there's some of our fans. We gave tickets away to Casey, one of our listeners. I told him I'd pull him up. Him and Doug and Taylor. There's some those. I told Casey is a complete embarrassment. If you'll notice, he's wearing a LaMelo Ball shirt. So he's a 35-year-old man wearing a LaMelo Ball shirt.
Oh, come on, lighten up a little.
Casey's
bit.
your people.
I'm not gonna wear a LaMelo Ball.
Taylor
t-shirt.
used to be a Yankees fan, and now he's wearing a Braves shirt. So I don't know about that one. So
we know all about bandwagon.
I don't know about that one.
Bandwagon.
But no, I love these guys. Casey, I'll have to say this. Of all the people I've ever played basketball with, for the most part, he's the least person I ever want to leave open. You get somebody on him, he might miss, but if he's open, it's ridiculous. Casey would miss. Long arms, just pull a 3. All right, we'll be back just a few minutes. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Here's some good news. It's 2 for 1. Two good companies have now become one great company. Hopper Heating and Air and Shelby Heating and Air have combined their businesses to become Shelby Heating and Air. David Hopper invites you to call on them for all of your heating and air conditioning needs, with name brands like Carrier and Goodman, plus complete service and repair. Shelby Heating and Air and Hopper Heating and Air, now one. Call 704-487-7877 today. Here are a few words that describe Creason Roofing of Cherryville. Professional, fast, affordable, and local. So why call anyone else? Creason Roofing is in its third generation with Stephen and Stephanie. They are local, and to prove they mean business, they will beat any reputable competitor's bid by $500, or they will pay you $100. Call for details at 704-400-8805, and you get a lifetime labor warranty. Cherryville's only roofing company is Creason Roofing. Again, call 704-400-8805, online at creasonroofing.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
For over 60 years, Boyd Tire and Appliance has been serving the Clover and surrounding area with the finest quality of home appliances, televisions, lawn equipment and parts, tires, and more. They feature in-house financing with 90 days same as cash, and they service what they sell. Drop by their showroom at 110 North Main Street in Clover, open 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday. Call 803-222-3231 for Boyd Tire and Appliance and Boyd Lawn and Garden. Online at BoydTireandAppliance.com. Check out the $12.99 deals at Cars, Trucks, and Credit in Lincolnton. Tax time is here. Now's the time to come in for the best selection. A 2005 Honda Accord is $12.99 down. A 2014 Chevy Cruze is $12.99 down. Or a 2007 Dodge Nitro, $12.99 down. That's Cars, Trucks, and Credit. 604 Clark Drive in Lincolnton. Online at ctcautosports.com and like them on Facebook too.
Vail Mini Mart, formerly Dan's Superette, located off of Highway 27 West, is under new ownership. You like ice cream? They have 24 different flavors: strawberry, chocolate chip cookie dough, cookies and cream, cotton candy, Superman, all the kids' favorite, and my favorite, black cherry. A daily basket special comes with fries and a drink for $5.99. Wednesdays, 2 hot dogs for $1. And don't forget about the best pizza around, Hunt's Brothers Pizza. And start your mornings off with their breakfast. Vail Mini Mart, 5467 North Carolina Highway 27 West, or call at 704-276-2237. Vail Mini Mart, the best place around.
This radio ad is worth $500. Now that's madness. Madness in March at Classic Volkswagen in Gastonia. Mention this radio ad upon arrival and take $500 off any pre-owned vehicle. Come see their great selection today and immediately save $500 by just mentioning this radio ad. It's madness this month at Classic Volkswagen of Gastonia, 4417 Wilkinson Boulevard. Online at classicvwgastonia.com and see their page at whatsupshopper.com.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the guys. Tom, I think we need to mention our friends again. Do you?
Shelby Heating and Air, 704-487-7877. Call them for your heating and air needs. Online, shelbyheating.com. Look them up. Get a tune-up. Get a new system. Whatever you need, they'll take care of you. Shelby Heating and Air.
All right, so I got a trivia question. We'll take answers all the way till 10 after if we have to. Zach come up with this, and this will work just fine. We're giving away Charlotte Hornets tickets for Wednesday against the Atlanta Hawks. Charlotte Hornets tickets Wednesday, Atlanta Hawks, 704-435-2845. 704-435-2845. So I got to write down the answers for JP. The question is, what famous ACC basketball duo was nicknamed Fire and Ice? What famous ACC basketball duo was nicknamed Fire and Ice, and what team did they play for? So, JP, I'm giving you this. 704-435-2845 if you want tickets to Charlotte Hornets Wednesday night against the Atlanta Hawks. Wednesday night against the Atlanta Hawks. I'm giving JP the answer. I flashed it in front of the cameras. If you could pause it, you could see it. Hold on, JP. JP, we should have got you on the overhead camera.
We should have went in the left door there, JP, because I think you might have pooed your pants.
Yeah, JP, the bathroom's that way. Tom said, good job, Vader.
That was worth the laugh, JP. I'm sorry, buddy. It came at your expense, but that was funny.
He might have dribbled in his pants.
Oh man, that was funny.
So I guess we can figure out that JP is on the good side instead of on the Vader side. He's on the.
JP, are you a dog person?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
He's probably a lap dog person.
I don't know about that.
Can you hear me, JP?
Yeah, I heard you.
What kind of dogs you like?
Ones that don't bark.
Well, look, he just scared me, okay?
Trust me.
For the folks at home.
He is scary.
He's got
He's temperament.
He's trying to. He's untrustworthy at this point. He's 4 months old.
I kind of got that.
He's 4 months old. He's still learning the do's and don'ts of. As you can see, folks, online, he's already torn up the pillow this morning, and but he's a good boy. He's a good boy for the most part.
JP, you should use the force.
As far as guard dog, he's been excellent. That's the first time you guys heard him on the radio really today. JP got him riled up in here. Look what you did, JP. You must smell.
I don't know what I did. All I did, I let him smell me. I petted him. But I don't know what I did.
Oh, yeah. You were JP. All right, let's talk a little football. Quarterback still going everywhere. Remember, the trivia question was Fire and Ice, ACC basketball. What nickname, who are they, and what team? All right, I got some fun tweets and stats for us before we get going. Stupid dog. All right. Washington has drafted 14 quarterbacks since 1991. They have combined for a grand total of 1 playoff victory. Does anybody y'all know who it was? Any guesses?
Repeat that again.
The Washington football franchise has drafted 14 quarterbacks since 1991. Mm-hmm. They've combined for a grand total of 1 playoff win as an NFL starter. Who is that quarterback that they drafted and won a playoff
Colt McCoy.
Game? Wrong.
He was drafted by the Browns.
Was he?
Anybody else guesses? Or do y'all want to know? The answer, ladies and gentlemen, is Kirk Cousins. And he won the playoff game with the Minnesota Vikings, not the actual Redskins.
Is that the one when RG3 hurt his knee and then he come back in after?
Kirk Cousins, and he won it in Minnesota. You didn't finish the sentence.
He
won it in Minnesota. So they haven't drafted a quarterback that's won a playoff game.
Period.
Since Theismann, basically, or Mark Ripien. Terry, there's a other radio show I was told the other day that couldn't name Joe Theismann as one of the Redskins' Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. Just letting you know.
That'd be a local.
Might not have to worry about that competition.
Yeah.
Who's the third one? All right, Terry, here's some Cowboy news. Reportedly, and the reason I brought up the Kirk Cousins stuff is Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott got into a verbal altercation after the playoff loss to the 49ers. Amari Cooper called Dak Prescott the Black Kirk Cousins in a meeting, and it made Dak Prescott mad. Per game in their careers, Kirk Cousins 260, Dak Prescott 259 yards. Touchdowns per game, Kirk Cousins 1.8, Dak Prescott 1.7. Interceptions per game, Kirk Cousins 0.7, Dak Prescott 0.6. Yards per pass, 14 for Kirk Cousins, 12 for Dak Prescott. Playoff totals, Kirk Cousins 1-2, Dak Prescott 1-3, 62% for Cousins, 61% for Dak Prescott. 3 touchdowns and 1 pick for Kirk Cousins, 6 touchdowns and 3 picks for Dak Prescott. Now, Amari Cooper is rumored to be maybe a Cleveland Brown, Tom.
Well, here's what I say. Why did you call him the Black Kirk Cousins? Why don't you just call him Kirk Cousins? Uh-oh. Oh, well, we had a accident. But I don't understand why you would say he's the Black Kirk Cousins. Let's just say he's Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you're saying that. basically that's just kind of, I don't know. It's just uncalled for and unnecessary. And to bring something like that into it. I mean, if you want to insult him by calling him Kirk Cousins, that's one thing. But it just seems like that's just a stupid thing to say. And it's not surprising that that's something that somebody says when they want out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Let me see how bad I can make you. You know, how mad I can make you by saying something stupid like that.
And those are the things that bother me because I and maybe I'm totally wrong, but I would have wanted to keep Cooper and get rid of Gallup, but we're going to go the opposite way and keep Gallup and get rid of Cooper. I don't know whether that makes us better or nothing. I think that really hinders Dallas offensively because now your safety is just going to stay in the middle of the field and worry about wherever Lamb goes. And I think that's going to hurt Dallas. Don't get me wrong. We got Wilson, who's daggum doing a tremendous job, but your tight ends, they signing those. Now they're talking about restructuring contracts for Lawrence. That way they can keep them. And I hope they do that because I don't think that we need to let him or Gregory, either one, leave because you're getting your defense back the way it should be. And, you can't let key parts thunder away and then try to replenish what you just lost.
Right. So, it was all about that cap number, though. It was the money. I don't know what Gallup was making, but $20 million.
The $20 million is what they freed up.
And even Tom had talked about it a couple weeks ago with Landry, and was he a 16? Was it 16?
Yeah, you just can't pay them that money. I mean, hence the name cap casualty. I mean, these guys are just cap casualties. They talked about also like somebody like Austin Hooper in Cleveland who's overpaid. Kareem Hunt in Cleveland, they could save $6 million by letting him go. That's why they just tendered Dearness Johnson. I mean, it comes down to business decisions. I mean, you would like to keep all these guys, but you can't pay them, and you want to get younger, cheaper.
And give Atlanta a lot of credit. They didn't have to come out and say all this about Ridley. They're the ones who come up and said, "Hey, this is what he did."
Yeah.
They could have went ahead and let him fundle on away and probably end up in New England. Then all of a sudden, oh, no, buddy, y'all going to lose him for a whole year because you didn't know none of this because we didn't tell nobody. Yeah. So I give Atlanta a lot of credit for telling what Ridley had done.
Yeah.
And then, talking about, with the Cowboys and stuff, they're looking for production that's similar at a lot lower pay scale, and that's just what they keep. That's just what they do, get younger and same production is what they're looking for.
I saw that they was looking at a linebacker that somebody had released, and I can't remember who his name or where he is from, but I did see that this morning. So, so I don't know what we're going to do there or who we're thinking about maybe getting him and letting go, because then you start thinking of Van Der Esch and all them. Are you still going to have a job or not? So.
Talk about Bobby Wagner.
Might have been.
Bobby Wagner got released by the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Said Dallas was interested in that. I don't know about money, if it's saving money, how that's going to work out. Calvin Ridley brought that up. This was his tweet the day after he got suspended. Y'all ready for this? I bet $1,500 total I don't have a gambling problem. Because that's what he was bet. That's what the bet was, a $1,500 bet on the Falcons on DraftKings or one of those other things like that. So then he tweets out, I bet $1,500 I don't have a gambling problem.
And to put yourself in that position, I mean, that's just not smart.
Have you seen the videos of him supposedly throwing the games? Like there's a couple of videos of him having a wide open path to the goal line, and he might run a little funny.
Oh, really? Okay.
A lot of questions about exactly what's going on with the Calvin Ridley.
So he's the East German judge, huh?
Yeah, I'll let you do. Just like with the Keselowski situation, Tom. We'll let you reserve judgment for yourselves. I'm not gonna put words in anyone's mouth. I don't have to, or we'll don't want to or anything. But I'll see. I'll get it up as soon as I can. But anyway, people were talking about suspensions, and this is the thing in today's day and age, Terry, and I guess people don't understand about some of this. So a lot of people were making the comments how the NFL does. You only get 2 games for Ray Rice beating his fiance. Adrian Peterson 6 games for child abuse. Greg Hardy 10 games reduced to 4 for beating his girlfriend. Ezekiel Elliott 6 games for hitting women. Calvin Ridley 17 games for betting $1,500 on FanDuel, and Josh Gordon 6 seasons for smoking weed. So
priorities may be out of whack.
A lot of people are questioning whether or not, like you said, where do they get their number of games and how they come up with this stuff? What do they do with legal system? The Deshaun Watson thing's coming up now. He's been cleared legally, but that doesn't mean he's being cleared civilly. Ben Roethlisberger got 6 games, and he was cleared legally. So, and that was, I think, 6 women. I think he got a game per woman or something, or by his accusers, and Deshaun Watson's got like 22 or something like that.
That'd be a season and a half.
They're not sure exactly. That's what I'm saying. They don't know, based on the history of the NFL, like, what are they going to do? So, a lot of questions up in there. I'm going to try to still trying to bring up the.
But they might
Calvin
consider last year time served. You see what I mean?
They probably will.
Because he didn't play.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't play.
They say the Panthers are going to make a humongous offer.
Well, that was the next point
Why?
with the Watson. Or the Panthers?
I agree. I don't want him.
I think this is Matt Rule's only way to save his job.
It's a.
Is this not the only way Matt Rule's going to save his job?
Why would you?
If
would
he
you
goes
not
in
want
the
him?
season with Sam Darnold next year, and they don't do well, he's getting fired. Is he not?
I mean, basically, he's been Roethlisberger, and look at everybody everybody had totally forgotten all the women he was allegedly committing. I don't know how you want to put him, but allegedly this guy had some lady issues, and they're acting like he's a saint. So why should Deshaun Watson be treated any differently?
Right.
So, he's already served 16 game suspension. In my opinion, he's been out 16 games, right?
70.
So probably going to sit about 5 or 6 more.
Yeah,
and
half a season.
And then, at least shows a desire to change his behavior. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I know he did something wrong, but, the way the justice system works is you serve the time and change. And he served time. I don't know how much money it cost him last year. Did he get his full salary to do nothing?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer.
So I don't know about that. I don't know what the fine will be. He might have to give back a year's salary or something. I could see that.
If they gave up that much for Russell Wilson, could you imagine what the Panthers will have to double down on to get him?
Well, that was the argument. But the Panthers' argument is, yeah, but Russell Wilson hasn't been accused by 20 women of sexual misconduct, so the price should be lower. And he hasn't played in a year, so
I think they'll have to get more.
The price should be lower.
He's younger.
No,
it just depends on if there's a betting war. That's the issue. Is if it's
and
one team
he's got a no trade too,
right?
So he'll have to let it go to come here.
I'd say 2 number ones was a fair price for his legal situation. If he had no legal issues, it'd be like 3 number ones, 2 number 3s. Give us a stud tight end and a linebacker or something.
They're going to wind up giving McCaffrey in the deal too, which don't hurt my feelings because that'll free up cap money if that's what they decide to do.
Yeah, they'll get something more modest.
I'm going to say they're going to have to give up 2 number 1s, 2 number 2s to get him to come to Carolina.
That's a lot. That's a lot of draft capital, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I always said the Rams are crazy for what they gave up for Stafford, but it worked. But the stars kind of lined up for the Rams. You know what I mean? Who thought the Tampa Bay's team would fall apart late in the season like that?
Don't have anybody.
Who thinks San Francisco's going to drop the interception that should have knocked them out?
We could have predicted Cowboys fall off, but anybody else other than that.
Then you get to play Cincinnati in the Super Bowl. No disrespect, but Cincinnati wasn't the best team in the AFC. So the stars kind of lined up for them, but it did pay off.
Von Miller comes.
Yeah, Von Miller comes. Yeah.
I
So,
mean,
the stars really lined up for them. So I do understand the calculus in that after the Matt Stafford deal. But I don't know. What did Denver gave up? What, 3 number 1s? 2 number 1s?
Couple number 3s.
Number 3s. Noah Fant.
Safety.
A defensive. Was it a safety? I was thinking he was a defensive end, but they gave up a lot. But again, I think we text back and forth this week on that. I think in that deal, both teams got what they wanted. I think both teams were happy. I
don't know.
You don't think? What do you think, Tom?
I don't know. You're taking a risk. What if he goes down?
Yeah. But I'm saying. But my question is, does both teams get what? Did both teams go away happy with what they?
I think at this point, John Elway has wanted a quarterback ever since Peyton Manning left, and he sent the quarterback too. The quarterback was part.
He
of
did.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, Locke went too. I don't know if he's going to start, but the quarterback went too. But now, if you're Seattle, you got to get the picks right. You know what I mean? You
You can't have a bust. You got to get the picks right. But, when I was listening to some of the pundits, they're basically saying that there's wide receiver talent in Denver, running back talent in Denver, that there's enough pieces around to win a championship.
So,
but they wish they still had Vaughn.
Yeah, they don't. I don't know.
You know how censorship is on the internet nowadays. So, you can't say or do anything that questions whatever. But this, the best of my ability, I got us Calvin Ridley videos. So people posted it, videos of him running backwards and changing his directions. Look at after catches, and they've all been deleted. So these are all what I'm showing you is videos of that video that used to be online. So these people went and deleted, I guess, being threatened by the NFL or someone else because of the gambling. I don't know if someone got to them. I mean, they did. Yeah, 100%. If you're sitting there accusing the NFL of throwing players of throwing games, and now all these videos are being deleted. So look at this. Where's he going to go?
He's gone.
Now where are he going? He had he was in front of the defenders on that one and stopped and let him go by him.
I didn't know he was that fast, though. He runs like a horse.
That's what I'm saying. I can't even.
Strange.
I can't even get I can't even find the play. There's not even a slider on
Where'd you
this video.
find that, like on the Chinese internet?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I searched so hard to find it. Like, I've seen this full video of him, and you look for it on the internet. What they do, Tom, is they don't delete the video, is that they'll delete you being able to find it.
Okay.
You see what I mean? So, like, you can type in the
Algorithms
exact
and
words of a video, but they'll go in their algorithm and delete those words.
Okay. There he goes.
It won't even show up. Like, that one against Kansas City. What is that, Terry?
Yeah, he ducks behind the two guys that he'd already had beat.
So, I don't know.
Weird. Why didn't he drop the ball, though? Just drop it. Oh, sorry, Coach. Need some gloves.
Small hands.
Small hands. Sorry. What was I thinking?
All right, so now across the NFL, what you've got, Carson Wentz is in Washington. Deshaun Watson looking for a team. It could be the Panthers. There's all kinds of rumors swirling around both quarterbacks in Vegas that they both could be moved. Watson's also rumored Pittsburgh, Tommy, for your sake.
I read yesterday that Pittsburgh not interested. I mean, they've already had one sexual assaulting quarterback. They don't want another one. Of course, the other one, I mean, he'll be a Hall of Famer. He'll be in the Hall of Fame.
I don't think they'd keep him
first
from
ballot.
doing it.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yep. He'll be in the Hall of Fame 5 years.
What, Terry?
Yeah, I said he's first ballot.
Yeah, probably should be.
Yep.
Let's see. Who else in the NFL? Does somebody else know? What else we missing? Oh, one other thing that I wanted to touch on. Something that Emmanuel Acho said the other day, and they were talking about most sports shows at some point have talked about it. And not Deshaun Watson, but Lamar Jackson mentioned getting the stigma of the black quarterback off by winning a championship. And Acho went to make the point that it's not racial. He thinks it's ratio, and he brought stats and facts with it. No quarterback in the history of the NFL has won a Super Bowl with a less than 7-1 passing yards to rushing yards. Steve Young and Russell Wilson both were 7 point something in there. So the most rushing quarterbacks we've ever had, still, it's never been below 7. All these other guys that you named, Tebow was like 2 point something. Deshaun Watson's 5 point something. Lamar's 5 point something. They're all under 7-1 passing to rushing yards. Cam Newton was 4. And he's the only one on the whole list that ever made a Super Bowl. I think Michael Vick was the number one at like 4.2. So all of them in that ratio, and that's one thing that, a lot of people say you don't want to run because you get hurt. My thing is, I think it also affects your passing percentage because when you come back to the huddle, well, who just ran? Yeah. You're the one that's tired. Mm-hmm. You're the one that's dead tired. You're the one that just ran away from all these defenders. And then the next play, you take 2 steps, and the guard gets blown up. And I got to run again. And the next play, I'm sitting in the pocket. Now I got to throw an accurate throw over the middle between read a defense. And the first 2 throws, I didn't read a defense because I was running around.
I would say
so. It's a blessing and a curse.
Need to run just enough.
Right.
Yeah,
it helps.
Yeah.
It's a good threat, but to rely on it is not the best way to do it in the NFL.
I think you make a good point there. Not to rely on it, but make them account for it.
Right. That's
you know
what
I
Patrick
mean? Make them
Mahomes does.
account for it without relying on it. I think that's the magic.
Well, it's a Josh Allen deal. I think he
Yes.
can run, but I don't think you should have plays in there for him to run.
But they do.
Yeah.
But they do.
The Cowboys ran a quarterback draw.
I know that.
I know that. Whatever it was, the end of the season.
I know.
Like, golly.
I know. And what did it get them? Nothing.
That's incredible.
Do you know the coach of the Cowboys, Terry?
Yeah,
Do you know the coach?
I got him down.
I just want to make sure you know the coach.
Yeah.
Or you criticize what they do.
Well, I criticize what they do over there, but because all I do is hear about these guys being
all I hear
head
is
coaches.
Sean Payton talk. I've heard this Sean Payton talk. Will he come to Dallas?
He'll be the Cowboys
If
coach.
McCarthy comes into this year
If they don't win.
and falters at the very start, he'll be gone.
I think
And
Sean
during the
Payton,
season?
yes,
Sean
and Payton will take over.
Sean Payton's going to take a year off and relax, and then he'll see what's up.
The crazy thing about Peyton is he is under contract. If he goes back in, they have to get draft capital. He's the same thing as
But if he stays
Gruden
out a
back in the
year,
day.
he's on his own.
Is he? That is true. That's interesting. I didn't know that part of it.
If he
One
what?
more year.
If he stays out
He's
a
got
year,
1 year.
Okay, he's got to stay out a year. Okay, that's what
well,
he'll do.
that's
So he basically just quit on the.
He basically just quit, and he's going to be the Cowboys coach. And,
Wouldn't you quit too if you was trying to replace Drew Brees?
yeah, absolutely. I would walk into the Cowboys
Especially
situation
what you're
with the
trying
players
to
that they
figure
got.
out
And,
over there.
Well, Tom,
No
a couple
really
of
good
things as far as the
quarterback.
Browns are concerned. It mentioned that they could draft a quarterback here, or also even maybe in the market for a Mariota or Gardner Minshew as a possible backover trade. But is Keenum still under contract? If he is, I should just stay still on that, I would imagine.
I haven't heard his name mentioned. They talked about the guy, the third guy, the guy from Southern Miss. Gosh, what was his name? He played one game.
That was Brett Favre.
No.
Is that where he went?
That's where he went.
did.
Southern Miss.
There's another guy. He played the day that half the team was out with COVID. I can't remember his name.
Well, Brady, they said Mike Florio said there's a 95 to 99% chance that Tom Brady will be the San Francisco 49ers quarterback this season.
No. Why would he want to go back to California and pale and
I'm just telling you what Pro Football Focus said on Coward's show the other day.
No.
Is that there's a 95 to 99% chance that the San Francisco 49ers will be starting Tom Brady at quarterback next year.
No. Trey Lance will be the starting quarterback in San Francisco. I mean, they're just saying that because Tom Brady's from California.
He'll have to be out of football before they quit that.
What he's looking at is he's looking at warm weather, low taxes. That's why Florida fit great. Tennessee would have fit great for Tom Brady. Low taxes, southern.
So this isn't about that. The San Francisco thing. San Francisco thing is 100% about a boyhood dream. He grew up a San Francisco 49er fan. Joe Montana is his hero. He tried to join them 2 years ago, and they said they're going to go with Garoppolo because they just traded for him, whatever it was. And he told them on the phone that it came out that he told a team, and it's come out that it's them, that he can't believe that y'all are going to stay with that. Sorry, in some choice words, instead of playing for him. And that was part of his, there's a Super Bowl motivation. He's told Arians and the Bucks he's given them a 2-year deal. He signed a 2-year deal. He played a 2-year deal. He won a Super Bowl for them. Let me go to San Francisco. So what Florio is saying is that San Francisco is now trying to find and land somebody for Garoppolo. Obviously, they may or may not keep Trey Lance depending on the offers. So the offers are open. They're just not putting it out there.
So you're going to sell the farm and give away all those number ones to get Trey Lance, and then you're going to get rid of them to play Tom Brady at 45 years old.
But they're going to get back all those picks.
I don't think so.
Between Garoppolo and him, if they trade him, that'd be fine.
I just think it's his boyhood
would
dream.
Tampa not want one of those two?
What does he still play with his Tinker?
If you're Tampa, would you want one of those two? Would you not say
if you're not going to get anything, for.
Well, Tampa has to get something for him.
I'm saying if they were sitting there getting nothing for him right now, so I wouldn't be upset.
And wouldn't it be a good fit? Think of it. It's going to be a good fit.
Yeah,
you're telling me
it's like Peyton Manning going to Denver and your defense is good. Brady could go to San Fran and his defense is good.
And they got a good running game.
They're the favorites.
No, but you guys are saying this is a boyhood dream, not all this.
That's what he said. It's been put out for years.
Okay, you're telling me a guy who's won the Super Bowl, 7 times?
Mm-hmm. He wants to be a 49er.
And is married to a supermodel, and he's worried about what I dreamed as a 7-year-old.
Sometimes I don't know.
I just have a hard time believing that. I just have a hard time believing this.
Hey,
I think it's just cooked up by the media. I think he's looking for warm weather, low taxes again. I don't know if he's going back to or he's done, or he's just.
He wants to go. He's not going to go somewhere he can't win just because he's got low taxes.
He likes that though. He's he's pretty. I think guys his age. That's why I'm surprised Rodgers re-signed with Green Bay. That's what I would have done if I was Rodgers. I'd have went to Tampa Bay or something. I would have gone. Where's some low taxes and warm weather?
$200 million.
Too much.
$150 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
Shh. Come on, y'all. Kevin Durant's not worth $50 million playing basketball. Aaron Rodgers is not worth $50 million playing quarterback.
Well, he might be worth $50 million if he can get one first down to solidify that victory against San Francisco.
They can't win a playoff game.
I mean, it's like
he's won one Super Bowl. One.
What was it, 2010 or something?
Russell Wilson has only won one playoff game in the last 6 years.
I know that's what
Russell Wilson has won one playoff game.
I actually like the guy who comes on Cowherd's show. I don't know who he is. He's a younger guy.
Is it Gottlieb?
The one that tells Cowherd how stupid he is all the time.
I would like to go back.
I like that guy because he gets on there and he was making that same argument. He's like, why do we think Russell Wilson's going to go in this division and dominate when he's really not done a whole lot in the last 6 years?
There is an argument that he is the fourth best quarterback in that division. Is that what's being said? Because you've got Herbert, you've got Mahomes, you've got the Carr, and there was somebody else.
Yeah, somebody. I think.
Who am I missing?
There's only 4 teams in it.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember, but somebody was arguing that maybe Russell Wilson was better than Herbert. And he said, "Well, you trading Wilson for Herbert straight up?" I was like, I'm not. I mean,
not at this junction of their career. There's no way.
No
See,
way.
I'd like to go back the last 6 years of Russell and see what his defensive is for them 6 years.
Yeah.
And now that he's going to go to Denver, what their defense is, that's going to make a difference.
It is.
All right, one thing I wanted to bring up. This has been a big talk that everybody's talking about. Since the Russell Wilson trade, saying it's the biggest trade NFL history. Some are saying, I'm like, what are you talking about?
All the way back to Herschel.
So they're comparing some of it to Herschel.
Yeah.
And one of the comments that I wanted to take, I took a little offense to about Herschel, was them calling him a bust. Now, if your requirements are being the greatest football player or NFL rusher of all time, okay, maybe he's a bust. But do you really want to talk his stats or not? Because we can, and what he did. Herschel Walker is 12th all-time total yards. And he missed years. He missed how many? 3 or 4 years in Georgia?
He played the New Jersey Generals.
He missed a few years in the USFL. And he's still 12th all time. The year that they traded him, Terry, he had 1,500 yards, 4 touchdowns. They were doing the old varsity blues to him where the running back gets close and the quarterback throws it in. The Russell Wilson is what Seattle. That's what Marshawn Lynch, they were saying they were doing with Wilson.
But you know what the ironic thing was, though? How as a free agent, Herschel Walker ended a backup in Dallas.
Yeah.
Remember that? At the end of his career, he ended up back in Dallas. That was the weirdest thing.
Well, he wanted to be he wanted to come back at 50, actually, too. Here's his college stats. Now, remember,
he was a beast in college.
1,600, 1,800, 1,700, 5.9 yards carry, 4.9 yards carry, 5.2, 15 touchdowns, 18 touchdowns, 16 touchdowns. So in the USFL, he went there, like I said. So he was there for 3 years. So 6 years, Terry, of him not being in the NFL, technically. You could say, let's say 3, you stayed there anyway. So he went 3 years in the USFL. There he ran for 1,800, 1,300, and in 1985, he ran for 2,400 yards in a USFL season, with 21 touchdowns in that season and 400 receiving yards. That was in 1985. Then he moved over.
What, about 4,500 yards in his
Do what?
3 seasons and 4,500 yards.
5,500
yards.
He had 5,500 yards in the USFL. So if you combine his USFL and his NFL rushing yards, he would be 7th all time. So just because Dallas pulled off 3 Super Bowls out of it doesn't mean that Herschel Walker was a bust. It means that the Minnesota Vikings overpaid for him. I mean, it'd be like trading for Christian McCaffrey or Zeke or somebody now and giving up 2 or 3 first rounds, and then you end up working around and getting and hitting on. They hit on Emmett. What was the 17th pick?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you got. You got Emmett 17.
Why don't get Russell Maryland?
Russell Maryland might have been the one the number one that they got out of that. And of course he's a great player, but he's not Emmett Smith. I got lucky with the Emmett thing.
Can I share what the Dallas Cowboys got? They gave up, Walker. They got a 3rd round pick, a 10th round pick, and a 3rd round pick from Dallas. But Minnesota gave up their 1st and 2nd in 1990, along with a 6th. Their 1st and 2nd in 1991, and their 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in 1992.
It was a fleece
for Herschel Walker, and also sent Jesse Solomon, David Howard, Isaac Holt, and Alex Stewart. They sent 4 players.
Those are practice squad people I never heard of.
Oh, how can you give away your first?
I want to think we wound up getting Woodson in
your first
2,
and 2nd picks for that long. For 3 years.
1990 was Emmett. I don't know who 91 was.
It was the draft. I want to say we wound up getting
91
Darren Woodson.
91 might have been Russell Maryland. It was Emmett, Russell Maryland, and I don't know who 92 was. But Irvin. See, this is how you hit on your draft picks. 88, Michael Irvin. 89, Steve Walsh and Troy Aikman.
Mm-hmm.
90, Emmett Smith. 91, Russell Maryland. Like, that's 4 or 5 straight studs there, plus the Darren Woodson was in one of those drafts. They hit on those drafts. They killed those drafts. And then Jerry went on.
I was right. They did get Darren Woodson out of that too, which was, I thought they did. Darren Woodson came out of that too.
I just wanted to mention that Herschel, when they talk about this trade, yes, Dallas got a lot of success out of it. Herschel was nothing from a bust as far as, definitely my mind as far as that goes. All right, we'll finish up real quick. We'll talk baseball a few minutes. Got a little late on that one. The strike is over, so baseball's back. Is that all we need to talk about? Oh,
pretty much. Baseball's back. I think they ended up giving the younger players a little bit better deal. They're going to get the whole 162 games in.
Yes.
So they're going to do doubleheaders, any 7 innings, any of
I
that?
didn't hear those, but they say they're committed to getting the 162 in.
Like, that's so important. Like, why was that so? God, that's the one thing about
you
the
gotta pay
arguments
your
that upset.
players.
Well, whatever. That's the one thing about that upset me.
Hot dogs, Kevin.
That's right.
Hot dogs.
That people were upset that we were going to miss 18 games or 20 games. Okay, you got 140 more.
What is the average salary now? Is up to $700,000?
It's a lot.
That's the ballpark they were arguing about. Yeah, it was $600,000 to $700,000 they were arguing about whether it should be. The Derby could determine the All-Star Game winner. Oh my God.
12 teams in the playoffs now.
Is it?
Yes.
I would have liked to seen the lesser season and more playoff teams.
That's what I'd like to see. The purists won't let it happen, Kevin. The purists.
That's the thing. We'll play 7 innings, but we won't cut 20 games. That's the dumbest thing. They will argue, the purists, that we want regular season baseball so we can see the Guardians and Royals this year combined for 100 wins. It's just stupid. I get it. Nah, how will the Guardians be? Will they be any good?
No.
All right.
We'll battle them for last.
All right. The big news, Zach. Are you getting Freddie Freeman back in Atlanta?
Ain't looking good.
Yeah?
Going to the Yanks, Sydney. Going to the Yanks.
Dodgers has been the latest, the newest.
Kershaw signed a 1-year deal for $17 million. $17 million, Terry. $million.
That's not 50 though. See,
that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, that's a good deal for him.
That's a pretty good deal.
He's a good regular season pitcher.
35 or 36 years old. He gets hurt a lot.
So how do you feel about that? The Freeman situation?
He don't show up in the playoffs.
Zach, Freddie Freeman situation. How do you
feel
about that?
I would like to have him back. If we don't,
it's our own fault. Is there any price you say no to, or you just want him no matter what?
Give him a fair market price. I'm good with that. I understand we can't pay, what the Dodgers can pay because of their pockets, but give him a fair market price and don't insult him. Let's say that. I mean, Pujols, we talked about that. That was fair for him. don't insult, Freddie Freeman with the low ball.
They were $3 million off on Pujols, 30 to 33 million.
So,
and he got caught insulting
his wife.
His wife.
So I want a fair price for him, and if he has to go, then
on that
I wouldn't hold it against him at all.
How do you make it on $30 million, Terry?
That's the agent's money, y'all.
You know how you make it on? This is how you make it on $30 million. Do like Terry. You buy a car, keep it for 20 years, get the free tires.
Got the shoe she wanted. I just saw this come across. Andrew Jones' son is the #1 prospect in minor league baseball.
He's got good genes.
That make y'all feel old? Makes me feel old.
Yeah, he's got good genes.
Yeah, I'll tell you something to make you feel old here in a second. I think any other comments on the baseball stuff? The Cardinals are trying to get Pujols.
They pulled don't start anybody in extra innings on bases and stuff.
Yeah,
they pulled that.
Dumb rule.
What's that?
They pulled. They were starting people on
The
different bases. They pulled all that. You're gonna start
whatever it is.
Okay.
But nobody's on base. So they were putting players on base before.
Oh, you're talking about they were using the international tiebreaker.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so they're not going to use the international tiebreaker.
No more East German.
I love the international tiebreaker.
I hate it. I hate it more than anything I think they've ever done.
As an umpire, we love it.
We love it.
I don't need any.
I
more
love the California.
Opinions.
I love the.
I don't need any more opinions on lazy umpires.
The California rule is bases loaded, one out.
That's stupid.
I love it.
It's all stupid.
Yeah.
It's all stupid.
Get the game over, Kevin.
Come on now. We've
That's
already
not the
played
point.
2.5 hours. Let's go.
I think you ruin all the stats. You ruin everything.
Who cares?
Ruin everything.
It's all about having a W.
JP, we
No
get
matter
callers
what
on the
you
Hornets. If not, I'll give them away online this week. No callers?
Nope.
All right, that's fine. Let's see if there's any more fun tweets or anything that I had this week. If you're worried about inflation, Doritos has removed 5 chips from each bag. Bounty has removed 3 sheets from its rolls, and Wheat Thins has determined that a family size is now 2 ounces smaller for families. So that's how they're getting by for folks.
Use less. Use less.
Now, I saw this week a couple of comments. East Rutherford put out their football schedule, so football is returning to the Cavaliers.
That's good. Good job, Philip Russ. Good job, Philip Russ.
Also, I wanted to comment for 2 minutes on this, a middle school basketball game this past week, and the girls that I saw play, and just exceptional. Holbrook won the Gaston County Middle School Championship. I think it was 51-12 or 15 was the final score. It was 50-10 after 3 quarters. This is a championship game. Okay?
So they're playing the second best team.
Yes. The second best team got 1 shot off in the first quarter, and they banked it in. Not made 1 shot. They got it off.
Basketball
off.
at the youth levels like that, Kevin.
Now, wait, hold on. I'm gonna say this. The Friday girls, of their starters, 4 of them had good handles. That's how good this team was. It didn't matter. They had decent handles. They could play. They could move up and play on varsity basketball. Friday had 4 girls that could play varsity in the future that I saw. Holbrook's got 10.
Yeah.
They brought in. I'm just gonna talk about the starters for a minute. I'll see if I can get Brian's tweets up so I got a picture of her. Their 4 starters would have won that championship game without their center, and their center was the best player on the floor, and it wasn't even close. She's like 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", depending on your hair and how it measured. I don't know. But Terry, she got a steal first part of the game, and I've never seen her play, right? Everyone in the stands stood up when she got to steal. They do that when they think somebody's about to dunk. She didn't dunk or didn't try to, but I got scared that she was about to. Now, one of the main things that separates a lot of the girls and boys players is hops or quick athleticism. Am I right about that?
Mm-hmm.
This
first step.
This girl runs and jumps like a boy, and she's 6'2", 6'3". So, you know how I've shown you. You know I've shown you the kid in our league, the David Robinson, who would stand in the lane and he would guard everyone and block their shot. She was doing this in a middle school game. She was blocking 3. I saw 4 3-point shots, Terry, get thrown into the bleachers from the center position. Nasty. I'm talking, she was nasty. So I was just talking to some of the locals. You know, Shelby's a good girls team, Tom.
Yes.
They would give them a good game. Shelby doesn't have it inside. I don't know if they would have an answer for. I'm not saying the Hollyford girls wouldn't outshoot them. I'm not saying Maraja Pass wouldn't outplay them because she's fantastic. What I'm saying is that Holbrook Middle School girls team would give them a run, if not win one of the state championships, the 1As or something, in the varsity, in high school. Terry, I ain't never seen anything like it. I've bragged about that Cherokee team for years. It was like them, but what are they, 14?
Mm-hmm.
Like the guards were so fast. It was incredible. Their power forward, Terry, or the girl that was getting the rebound, I call her power for play the four. She'd shoot threes. She was the best player. She was like Scottie Pippen. And you can say she was maybe the best all around player on the team. But the center is just crazy. But they would get the rebound. That's how fast the guards were, Terry. They would quarterback throw it down the court. Not to anybody. They would just throw it. And those guards, get it, 2 steps, layup. Rebound, throw it out, get it, 2 steps, layup. I have to say, I want to give Brian all the credit in the world for coaching his team to a championship. I don't know how much coaching he did, Terry. I love you, Brian.
Good players make a heck of a coach, don't they?
But I put it this way. He said not all of them's going to the same school. It's Ashbrook, North Gaston, and he's got one maybe going to Hush or something like that. So they are going to break up. So it's not just going to be this is not going to be the Ashbrook Green Wave, but keep an eye on some of those ladies. Fantastic. All 5 starters
It's a free agent
are ballers.
county. It's a free agent county anyway. So
I did see someone there wearing a Thomas Jefferson shirt talking to the players after the game.
They wouldn't do that.
We'll be back next Saturday. Play the music, JP, on Saturday Sports Talk. Don't forget NASCAR this weekend. Duke basketball tonight on the ACC tournament. KDC broadcast.